All right, it says I'm live. I don't know if I'm live, and I don't know if anybody's in watching me. I get so flustered with all this computer stuff. All right, I saw the old chat window open. I gotta blow that up to full screen. If anybody's watching right now, hang on. All right, good. You guys are in here. All right, so I have to. I don't know. I don't know where the link to this chat is, or this stream is. So I guess I'm going to have to go around the long way. There we go. And then I'm going to go to the old one and say stream moved here. All right, so anybody that goes into the old chat will now come over to the new one, and let me be sure that I'm actually looking at the right one. I'm not going to get any work done like this. All right, that looks good. Okay, James. Oh, now you got to grab your headset. Really? You couldn't grab the headset 10 minutes ago. No, James, I don't know if you know, but I DM'd you the link. If you will send that over to Chris Riley, being that Chris Riley's not on Twitter. And hello, welcome back, everybody. I see a lot of the same people. I think we lost a few people. I hope they do follow through and come back. I see Butch is in here now too. Hello, Butch. For those of you who don't know, my friend Steve Martin is here with us tonight. Big fan of Steve. Very funny guy. You know, you guys might have seen him in a few movies. Yeah, there's actually a story that goes with that because, I mean, he really is Steve Martin, but I know him as Butch, and we worked together. And one day I went into work, and there was a report laying there, and it was signed by Stephen Martin, and I thought, oh, somebody's a funny joker. And then it dawned on me who it was. So, yes, everybody, remember the thumbs up button. Even if you clicked it on the other one, we need you to click it on this one too. So, hi, Uncle Ron. Hey, James, I'm in a loud place. Can't hear a thing. Well, that's not fun. So, I don't have any audio because there's nobody in here with me. And just by the way, James, let Chris know if you haven't already that we're already live. So if he comes in, like there's no buffer. He's like coming into the lion's den. Hurry up and get in here. I'm nervous being by myself. If I decide pick on Glenn, I can't hear his snappy comebacks. That's poop. Actually, that's poop. You guys wait until this week's Xander's Thing Thursday. I'm so excited. Be prepared. Take your whole lunch break and watch it. It's the longest one yet. It's 8.5 minutes. Okay. Hi, Paul. I'm doing well. Opened your box today. It will. That video will be airing on Monday. I don't want to give anything away, but I will say thank you. Thank you very much. That was far too kind. One of the things that you sent to Zach is already on the roof, but that was really my fault. I got to get it down off there now. What? I shot it up onto the roof. the hardest part that I'm having with the FK-1 so far is what to name the parts. Like there's so many. Watching the ad for Glenn's benefit. Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. I mean, like I don't make a bazillion bucks, but you know, my YouTube money paid for almost all of this aluminum. So, you know, that's what I said. I actually said in the Patreon post. So I don't know if you guys caught that because I set them private and then Hangouts won't start. Oh, sure. But I guess I'll say it now to all of you guys too, because you guys supporting us helps goofy projects like this. You know, like it helps me sink 6 months of my life into something that I don't even know if it's gonna work. Come on, fix your Hangouts. Did you send the link to Chris? Well, I feel really stupid if I stopped the stream and started it in Hangouts, and then you guys can't join me.
Oh, you should feel stupid anyways.
Oh my gosh. It's my brother from another mother.
Am I visible? I'm trying to even fit. Oh, there I am.
Yeah, you only pop up when you talk. If it was just a Hangout, oh, I see what's happening. It's cutting you off in your little avatar down there. But yeah, if you were only doing a Google Hangouts, then you would see me and I would see you. But the people need to see whoever's making the most amount of noise.
Well, that'll be you for most of it. Hello, Harley Martin.
Oh, thanks, Uncle Ron. But you go ahead and have that. I don't want to ruin 45 years of sobriety.
I mean, you can always start again, right? I'm sure you got another 45 years in you.
God, I hope so, but I doubt it.
I forget how I set up OBS. Oh, so I got my resin printer running. The other one's doing nothing.
So how big of a volume does that thing have?
It's 128 by 65 by 200.
Oh, that's not too bad at all.
I'm printing an Eiffel Tower.
I see that.
99.3%.
Yeah, I hate to tell you this. You're gonna have to print it again. It's upside down.
I'm trying to think of something clever to say, but I guess I can tilt this down. I could have been having margaritas tonight. My margarita machine's behind me.
Robbie Mac, thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Robbie Mac said, "Hey, Glenn, I just ordered you a beer. If you don't want it, Uncle Ron will take care of it for you." Is that James that keeps popping up with a prison window view?
Is the reflection?
It kind of does look like a prison window because of the bars, because of the smooth rods.
It kind of does. And as soon as I join this, I got printers over there screaming for filament. I got to go step away and do that.
Well, thanks for joining us for 5 seconds.
Well, I appreciate that.
Hey, everybody, it's Chris Riley from Chris's Basement.
Yay.
I should have put on pants before I started the stream. I just realized I'm reflecting on everything.
What's that?
I said I should have put on pants before I joined the stream because I just realized I reflect on everything before me.
Yeah, that's true. Your image is on everything that's in there.
I'm here. I'm over here.
That's a lot of James's.
Okay.
James I?
James cubed. I moved the recliner from the living room into the dining room so I could be comfortable during the stream. Hey, Kay ain't here. She can't tell me what to do.
That's right. It's not like she checks in on you once in a while. Of course, this is my channel, so she probably won't check in on you.
She stopped checking on me. She doesn't care anymore. Turns out I'm not as much of a catch as I thought I was.
So I think the whole world should know that this is my first metric tape measure that I've ever owned. and
Did you
it
say it's
gave
an
me
Imperial
anxiety.
Destroyer?
What's that?
It's an Imperial Destroyer.
Material destroyer.
Imperial.
Oh, Imperial.
At
Well,
least with the audio feed.
it's a three meter / 10 foot, so it has Imperial on it as well. But it goes up to 99 centimeters, and then hits 1 meter, and then rolls back to 1, 2, 3, 4 again. And
You have to add the 100.
and yeah, it just kind of really messed with me.
Is the audio better like this?
Keep talking.
I don't really know what to say. I got a cat in my face.
I see that. Yeah, that's a little less echoey than the way it was. You're kind of quiet, but that could just be my side.
Usually I don't know how to shut up.
Paul, the new printer is 400 millimeter by, well, there you go. Uncle Ron got it. 400 by 1200 by 475. Holy crap, it's Chris Riley, not on Twitter.
I wanted to use the mic in my headset, and then I realized that the new laptop has one of those single in for the headset / microphone.
Oh, so you have to have the adapter?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was cutting all of this was really, really nerve-wracking.
Well, hopefully you didn't mess it up, even though you probably did.
No, it all seems to be right.
I believe in you. It's the rest of the world that we have to convince.
So
Well, I appreciate that.
Now we load the Rhino reel.
Now we load the Rhino reel. This is
Zip
the way.
ties out.
I'm gonna lock on you, Chris, so that everybody sees that.
There you go. There you go. Zip ties out, and you have your slant spool sponsored by KVP, which I call this the Walter spool, by the way.
Yep, that's proper colors.
Yep, so you load that on there, and both pieces are the same as Glenn showed you in his video. And you put in there, and they lock together. And then eventually you'll find the end, depending on what color you pick. This is see-through blue, and it's really hard to find it. So there we go. And you can lock that into the keepers. And then you can cut the zip ties.
Wow, Chris, that is very easy.
Wow, amazing. You can do it too at home.
Now, let me ask you something, because in the beginning of that, I'm going to unlock you. In the beginning of that, you kind of jokingly said, zip ties out. Was there a reason you said that?
Yes, because they put the zip ties in the middle of the spool so it doesn't cut the plastic on shipping.
Correct.
So the button where you actually tie the zip tie is pretty sharp. So they put those inside and then they zip lock it.
Well, the reason that I asked you if you said that intentionally was because somebody, and I won't mention any names, I'm not going to call anybody out, but it's a predominant person, made a comment on YouTube about, or on Twitter, how stupid it was because they were all pushed to the inside and you weren't going to be able to put the reel on. And it just kind of, I had to face palm.
Chris has no guesses because he doesn't know what a Twitter is.
Well, I'll take guesses about who that was, but no, there is a reason, and it does work, and so far so good. It has been great.
Yeah, no, I like it, and you know the other big thing is a lot of people are very quick to say something about it not being the master spool, that it should have been the master spool, and which, you know, that's between Rhino reel and master spool, not between us. But I think that this slant spool works really well, being it's the same piece both sides.
Yeah, we could probably have an hour-long conversation about that whole thing. But the slant spool, the guys, Slant 3D that came up with this spool, attribute everything to the master spool. So I mean, this is just a build off of their design. So now there are other companies that do not, but you know, Richard Horn and the whole deal. But But we again, we can go into this for miles, but this seems to be pretty good stuff. So I'm all right with it.
My Eiffel Tower print is complete. I had printed smaller versions of it before, so there it is with the baby one next to it. I liked the, they sent me a second thing of resin to use while I was printing, and this one was done in that, and I like it better. It's translucent yellow.
Translucent, yeah.
Yeah. The solid yellow kind of just looks like the pee-pee. Yeah, I censored myself because I'm on your stream.
Appreciate that. This is a family-friendly channel.
Yeah, because if I had been on my stream, I would have said, I'm not even going to do it as a jest. I mean, if it was Chris's channel, then who cares, right? Yeah, it turned out all right. I think I'm going to turn off my camera for a second. Give me 2 seconds here.
I might have cut these too long. I mean, that's a good thing, but I'm questioning myself now, and so 1148 millimeters would be 11.48 centimeters, right? So it would be 11. Oh, I'm sorry. It'd be 1 meter, 148 millimeters, or 1 meter and 14 centimeters, correct? I need James here. Where's my metric guy?
So what was it again? Sorry, I had to step over there.
Well, this piece is supposed to be 1,260 millimeters. I did everything in straight millimeter.
Okay.
I have to look at my diagram. Yeah, it's supposed to be 1,260 millimeters, but I cut it way long. I don't like this tape measure. I don't like the way this tape measure is. So here's 1,000. 1 meter is 1,000 millimeters. So 1,200. 1,260. So 1,260 millimeters is 126 centimeters, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so I did cut it right. I just don't like the way this tape measure is laid out, because it counts the centimeters up to 1 meter, and then it drops back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. And then like at 10, it's 110, and then 120. Huh. So 126, and I hate to say it, but I cut this bad boy 1 millimeter short.
Oh.
I think it'll be okay.
I only bought a metric tape because of the hang printer. You had to do like measurements on the floor, you know, trying to figure out line distance and stuff. But this Stanley FatMax deal, that they do, it's the same tape, they just flip it. You know, so it's metric versus imperial, imperial versus metric. It has worked really well.
Yeah, that's the type of tape measures I use, is the Stanley FatMax. In fact, here's my 40-foot Stanley.
Nice, nice.
So this actually has a story, and that is that some years ago, my dad and I, like, we both always carried the silver, the old style Stanley 2 silver tape measure.
Oh yeah, I still got one of those. Yeah,
the standard 25-footer.
Yep.
So one day I was in Home Depot and I found a 30-footer. So I bought it and I brought it home and I was wearing it on my belt, and I'm like, I got a 30-foot Stanley. What you got? You know. So it started this thing, and then he went out and found a 35-footer, and then I came home with this 40-footer, and Had it for a long time, but my piece of advice to you, unless you absolutely need a 40-foot tape measure, don't buy one because they are heavy. They will pull your pants down all day long.
Yeah, 25 is as big as I ever got. It was always about the standout. You know, how much is your standout?
Right,
you know?
right. Yeah, you got to have a big standout. Well, that's where the Fat Max comes in. The
Right.
standout is awesome on them. All right, so 1148 millimeters then would be 148 centimeters.
Right.
That can't. Oh wait. No, 1148 would be 114 and 8 millimeters.
Yeah, 114.8. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's 100. So here's 14. I have to tag this thing up to drill a bunch of holes in it.
That's gonna be kind of. I don't want to doubt you at all, but that's gonna be kind of a nightmare with a tape measure.
Why?
Well, I mean, like, you know, I always struggle with center holes, right? You know, so you're coming down a straight line and you got your tape and you're measuring it off, and then you like try to center punch as close as you can before you drill that hole.
Now you gotta have one. You gotta have one of these. You see that? So this lays into the. I've got these bushings that'll go in there, just like this thing. This goes on the end. So you missed the first part of my stream where I showed all this. This locks onto the end like this, so I could drill through. To have butt ends like this.
There you go.
So and honestly, as far as the tape measure goes, as long as I'm super close, it'll be fine, because all this is for the Allen key to go through, and it's a 3 millimeter Allen key going through a 15/16 hole or a 5/16 hole.
Okay.
So
nice.
Yeah, I was just toying with you.
Yeah, no, that's.
I knew what you were gonna say, and don't ever worry about questioning me, because that's how I learn stuff. You know, that's how like all of a sudden you realize you did something wrong. So no, I always appreciate that.
No, I was just thinking about what I would do. You know, I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be awful. Yeah, but no, the jig definitely makes it much nicer.
Yeah, I printed this with sides so that I could lock it on, but I printed them too thin and I broke them off. So I don't know if I'm going to actually be able to do this, or if I'm going to have to print a new one. So we're going to find out.
I don't know. That's cool though. Cool. Chris Lane is here. Hello, Chris Lane.
Hello, Chris Lane. Chris Lane had to come in and see what a real printer looked like. No, I'm just messing. I'm just messing. He knows that I love the Venturi.
Firing shots over the bow.
Yeah, I was standing here recording video anyway, and I thought, this is stupid. I should go live, and even though I'm gonna film a video on all of this stuff, like I've shot video along the process so far, but just thought it'd be more fun to do it live.
No, I was my wife is out for the evening, and I was sitting there eating my dinner, and I was watching the Sunday live stream, and taunting you in the comments, and I was thinking, well, man, I'm free, we should stream, and I got James all spun up, and then here you come. I was like, well, we don't need to stream anymore. We'll just watch Glenn and taunt him.
Yeah, no, this is more fun. And my wife asked if Walter was going to be in here, and I'm like, no, it's James and Chris and I. And she goes, oh, so it's play in the fun basement.
It's Fun Basement Canada.
Canadian Fun Basement.
There you go.
I believe he says Canardian. So Canardia?
Canardian. There you go.
The Canardian Fun Basement.
So I don't know if anybody's interested. I was going to start another print on the resin printer, so I can do a quick walkthrough as to how it works when you're doing this stuff.
Yeah, let me lock you in.
Let me switch it so that resin camera takes up more of the screen. Better than my ugly mug. There. Nope.
I feel bad. I'm not watching the chat, but wow, shots fired.
Okay. Let's see. I'll back the camera off a bit so you can see the screen down here. So it's a little bit different than a regular printer because not only do you have to pick a file that's been sliced, you also have to pick the slicing file. So the slicing file keeps the configuration, which is basically print speed and the slice height and all that type of stuff. And when you've sliced your model, so the speed at which it prints actually is much more predictable than an FDM one because it prints every layer all at once. So when you go and you say, hey, spend, say 500 or 5,000 milliseconds per layer, that's how long it leaves the screen on to cure the resin. So you can predict exactly how long it's going to take to do a print. So the estimates are way better. So the first thing I found to do here, oh, I just realized how washed out that screen is. I don't know if there's a, is it so bright, I guess? My other camera was better able to see it. Okay, you'll just have to take my word for it then. So I start off by doing a level process at the beginning, and it'll basically lower the platform down into the vat. The vat's full of this ugly yellow resin, which actually could probably use a little bit of a top up. I forget what the other model I have to print is, but I pre-sliced 3. So whenever I slice a model, I slice it on my laptop, and then I copy it over Wi-Fi onto the printer. And it's using a resistive touchscreen.
And what software does it slice in? Just a regular slicer?
No, pretty much all of the resin printers have their own proprietary slicers.
Well, that sucks, but okay.
And the slicer is not super fully loaded. It's basically bare minimum. Like you adjust the location and of the model and stuff by moving sliders. So it's like, oh, I want this to the left or whatever, or right. So you slide a slider from left to right, and then it moves on the platform. You can't just click and drag on it. But
well, that sounds fun.
It's not the most user-friendly experience, but it's not terrible. It's just like the other thing is too is like you're not going to do as much complex operations on this versus an FDM. So once it's lowered into the vat, this is the holding knob. So I basically loosen it, let it drop so that it's perfectly level against the silicone screen protector on the bottom, then tighten it back up. And then we should be able to go to the print settings here, which you can't see because of the screen anyways, but essentially you click print, you select the slicing file, and you select the model that you want to print. And that is pretty much it. Just looking to see what the other thing I sliced was to print off here.
Chris said, I see James. I see the fun, but where's the king? Is he out chasing girls again? No, he's out chasing video games.
Video games can always get you the girls.
I mean, you got Mario the Princess.
He's over there. What? We weren't talking to you.
Hey, Chris said you're not going to mount anything. You really mean. That's the new goal, is to make him hate Chris by the time he sees him again. Then Chris has no idea why. I don't think anybody could hate Chris.
Nah.
Over 4,000 people agree Chris is the person to hang out with.
You only see me if you're trying to hit me with your car. It's going to leave a huge dent.
Yeah, you can unlock me now. There's not going to be much else to show.
Okay.
It's pretty boring from this point forward.
You hear that, everybody? James says he's boring.
Oh, they all know.
They'll know. They're subscribed.
We watched it for 24 hours last weekend. Nothing happened.
I mean, we printed something. Like a tenth of a Benchy.
That was really impressive, though, James. All kidding aside.
No doubt.
Wow.
I'm kind of excited after a week or two break to go back and revisit it and turn it into a good printer, because it already prints and I already see where the inconsistencies are coming from. So, yeah, I think it'll be worth revisiting and finishing. And we raised $533 for Chio, which I am going to kick in my own money to round it up to 600.
And that is awesome.
That's very kind of you, brother.
I'm just glad that we raised more than the printer was worth. How much did you pay for the purchase of the printer? I don't know, about $200. How much did you raise? 130.
Yeah, you could have just given the money to the charity.
Yeah, exactly. I guess I could show the slicer. I'll open it up, and then everybody can see what a Don't get me wrong. When they build these things, because there's no standard, they're literally reinventing the wheel for each one of them. So I can't harsh on it too much. Let's see. So it's a flying bear, and the slicer is actually called FB Slicer.
Like 10 miles away from you. Yeah, Joe, come on, guest host in the basement. I will eventually run into you at Micro Center. I make that trek a couple times a year.
Is that Joe Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because at the point I realized that Joe Mike was in his basement, I'm like, oh, perfect substitution, because you're in the basement too. I didn't even think about the fact that you guys are in the same town.
Oh yeah, somebody said that last stream or whatever, right? And he said he would be surprised if he was more than 20 minutes away from Chris.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I ran into him at Murph, and still didn't put it all together. So we're failing all over the place.
That's funny.
Okay, can you guys see the slicer now? If I put that up like that.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay, well, the slicer is open. It's this big empty thing here. So basically what you do is you go add model, and you'll go pick whatever model you want to do. I'm going to print a small version of the group pointer, because that's what I'm doing.
I'm going to use some garbage out of my
I'm asking you guys, you know how my computer's organized, or lack of organized. Okay, so you should be able to see Groot sitting on a platform that's way too small for him. Can you see that?
Yep.
Because if I Alt-Tab to look at what you guys can see, then it just switches to me being able to see OBS on the screen.
That makes sense.
So can you see Groot right now? Sitting on a square or a rectangle?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so there's no adjustments that you can make directly on them, so you have to go in and basically type in numbers. We'll make them, say 0.2 size. And probably go a little bit bigger than that, 0.4.
Kit in the chat said, well, it's no fun having to put on scuba gear to go down.
That's it. You go and you pick your slicer settings. So it's printing at 0.05 millimeter layer heights. Layer time is 8,000 milliseconds, so it takes 8 seconds per layer. That's pretty much it. So go to model settings. We'll click slice. It'll say, hey, you've resized the model. Do you want...
Sorry, I'm going to mute my mic so I can drill.
Okay, Chris, you talk now.
Oh, I talk now? Awesome.
Yeah. Entertain the troops.
Stuff and things, and talking while I try to figure something out. You know, I'm not a big Xbox fan. I've never really been into it, but this Xbox controller overlay thing that they've got right now.
Oh, for the steering wheel?
Cool.
Yeah.
I think Uncle Jesse did something, or I think that was him. But that thing is neat, man. I'm just browsing Thingiverse right now. Really awesome.
Which thing's neat? My audio's been breaking up, so I might have missed stuff.
It's a printable. It's a steering wheel that you put on your Xbox One controller, and when you turn the little wheel with your thumbs, it runs the joystick.
Oh, neat. Is that the thing Uncle Jesse printed?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, very well designed. Very cool.
If you were on the Twitters, you would have seen it like a few days ago.
Right? Yeah. If he was in the now.
Well, I'm the 3D printing version of Amish.
That makes 120% sense.
There you go.
So Kit said earlier in the chat, well, it's no fun having to put on scuba gear to go down to the basement in Florida. Since you go down 5 yards and you hit water, and actually I could have had a basement where I am. I'm 70 feet above the water table. But I found out too late. Or I totally would have had a basement. Well, that worked, Chris. I drilled those holes.
Excellent.
I think it would have been easier had the jig had the size like it was supposed to. So I will redesign that before I release it to the wild.
Well, it would have made me nervous. So.
Well, if you ever have to do it, you just let me know and I'll get you my jig.
Well, I will. I'll come down there and let you do it all for me.
You just come down here and let me drill it right here.
Yeah. Well, better somebody else mess it up, not me.
All right, I'm gonna mute my mic again just so that this doesn't overtake. I mean, everybody said that it wasn't that loud, but then it takes over the stream.
I can't connect to the printer. I've been having issues with my network over here in general. I had to write in hard values for my network settings for my laptop to get to connect to the internet. So I might have to go find a USB stick to save the file to. I'll start reading chat again in a second.
Yeah, no. Yes, Joe Mike, I am a drummer. I play a few different instruments. I had a very short career in music in about a decade ago. We sold a few records, and then after they were done with us, they dumped them off in my driveway. And they're still down here on a shelf. A couple, almost 1,000 of them. So that was my career. It lasted about 8 months. So yes, I play the drums, guitar, a couple different things.
Okay, I'm watching stream now, so I can respond to questions and stuff, because I've got the least to do out of everybody here tonight, I think.
About time you do something around here.
See you later, Shom.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here, brother.
There's an Amish Uber? What do Mennonites do the driving or something?
Pick you up in a horse and buggy. So if anybody has a project that they need to do that requires extrusion, and you don't have the money, or you just don't want to spend the money, I have some leftover extrusion here that I can mail you. The bucket, I put a bucket on the floor, and then I put the end of the extrusion in there while I was tapping all the holes and stuff, because the chunks fall down through the extrusion then. And that bucket was, I mean, it wasn't like full, but there was a good coating of really fine aluminum in the bottom of it. And my cat comes up to it last night, was about to jump into it, and I caught her right at the last second. I'm like, I don't think that's a good plan.
Carl Brown is here. Hello.
Hey, Carl.
I had a heck of a time getting the Ghost up and running. that thing was just bad luck. Like it's not even it's well constructed. It's very solid. It's delivering good prints now that it's up and running, but just bad luck. The power supply was damaged in shipping, and when the power supply went, it took the control board and the hot end with it.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So they included a second hot end. I was like, oh, that's nice of them. Like extra hot end, extra pulleys.
That's because they knew it was going to crap out.
It's like we're just guessing.
Well, I finally heard back from ANET as far as getting a warranty replacement for the E12, and they pretty much told me to go blow smoke. That I had to reach out to my salesperson to get any warranty parts.
Nice.
Which I had reached out to GearBest at the exact same time, and all they said was they would try and put in for one for me. It's the way they put it. So I don't have a lot of hope. I'm probably on my own with that, but
Get more sales, dude.
yeah, I'm not even worried about it. I don't know. I think that ship's done sailed.
I often wonder how tightly coupled, GearBest and ANET and AlphaWise and all those companies are.
Well, as I understand it, GearBest owns AlphaWise, but I don't know how true that is. But I heard it's their in-house brand.
That's what I kind of wonder.
But when I had asked for an AlphaWise printer, they weren't real, receptive on giving me one. You'd think if it was their in-house brand that they would want to get them out into hands,
Yeah, just tell them you know Uncle Ron, and they'll just shell it out. Walter's here. Hello, Walter.
Hey, Walter. Welcome to, what did we decide this was? Play in the fun basement?
Yeah.
Or
fun basement Canadian style.
Fun Canardian basement?
I don't even have Canardian in my channel name. You guys are rude.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't have the maple leaf in your logo.
It's going to be a different leaf in October. Similar appearance, though, really.
Yes, five points.
I have a can-do attitude, a cannabis-do attitude.
A cannabis-do attitude. Why are we on Saturday instead of Sunday? We're not. We're still on for tomorrow. This whole thing started because I was standing here filming building parts of the FK-1, and then I thought, this is stupid. I should just punch up live. So I did, and then Chris and James came in, and they said, we were going to stream. No, that's not what they said. They said, we were going to stream, but now we can just watch you. And I said, well, I should have done it as a Hangouts. And James like, do it. And here we are. Nobody wants me to do my own streams.
Nope.
Well, we know you need our support.
All right, Joe Mike, I'm checking it now, buddy.
Oh, I can take care of it.
I've kind of already got it, unless you can get there first.
I'm on it right now, but
it's
not letting me.
Go ahead.
No, it's not letting me copy it.
Oh.
No, you.
Well, now.
Oh, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
I'll handle it. I'm on Twitter.
under like Riss Niley.
I thought Joe Mike was DMing me to like say something nice, like say hi, whatever. No, people only message me when they need stuff.
Yeah, no, they just want to hang out with all the cool kids.
Hey, check this out. Look at how small this maker coin is.
That's a very small maker coin.
That's my maker coin.
So what made you decide that you were going to get into resin printing?
I didn't. They contacted me on my Facebook group thing, and asked if I would be interested in going over the designs for some of their printers. And then they linked me to the Ghost and the Shine. I said, well, which one did you want me to review? And they said both. So I didn't believe it right away because of like how random the connection was. So I went.
Right.
I said, email me the information and I will email you back. And then once they emailed me, I went through the whole header on the email and then traced it back to their actual domain to make sure that it was a legitimate email address on their site. And once I verified it all, I was like, well, let's see what happens. And like a week later, both of them showed up.
That's awesome.
Is this thing working?
I can hear you.
Hey.
There's something wrong with your mic.
There's something wrong with the mic.
There's something wrong with your Joe mic.
Face.
Joe Mike's here. I can log off. We've got a Kansas City representative.
Well, no, not before I talk to you, sir.
Yeah, because you're not on the Twitter.
Whole reason I logged on to this.
This guy's
Chris Riley
taking
is the real Keith developer.
I've talked to Keith. I am not him.
How did you talk to Keith? He's only on Twitter, isn't he?
I've talked to Keith in comments and emails and such.
Yeah, I'm sure he spews his hatred everywhere.
But hey, you know, that's the funny thing. Everybody always says, you know, oh, it's Keith. He's always been really nice to me in emails and stuff.
No, he's always been.
I don't know him on Twitter, so.
Yeah, he's always been nice to me too, unless he's got other accounts. And he's always been nice to Walter. He's just, I don't know. He's.
There are some people that he doesn't like for whatever reason, and I mean, the way it is.
I'm gonna mute my mic so I can drill these holes.
Hey, Joe, Mike, talk. You said you had to come in here and talk to Chris.
Joe Mike's on mute.
Chris, you need to get your soundboard out so you can do the cricket sound effect.
I know. No sound.
Hey, Chris, you'll appreciate this. Look at the little baby benchy I printed.
Do I look what?
I said you'll appreciate this.
Nice.
Little baby benchy.
He said
I
you look
have
like
it
a baby
SLA
Benchy.
But
I
it's
printed
only
one-
half.
I printed one that was half the size of this one too, and it turned out okay.
I'm jealous.
I lost it. I think it fell on the floor somewhere, and then probably, I don't know, fell in the cracks between the floorboards.
Check.
There he is.
Checkmate.
Same thing. I'm not proud of my lapse there as a system administrator. Anyway, so the reason I wanted to hop on was talk to Chris, because we live in the same freaking town, but I can never get like a way to talk to you.
Just message him on Twitter.
Yeah, if that works just fine for
That's probably why you guys have never hooked up, because he won't get Twitter.
Yeah.
the virtual Twitter, the one that
That's probably my fault.
in real life. What part of KC do you live in?
I am in the east side. I'm in Liberty, so I'm really close to William Jewell.
You're in Liberty?
Yeah.
My wife went to college in Liberty at Jewell. Right now we're living down in Independence, right off of like not right off of 23rd, but like off of Gudgel and 291.
Yeah, I'm like 291 in Liberty. I'm about, a mile and a half out. So I mean, I'm right on 291.
That's crazy. Yeah, I was asking about the drum because I saw your A Customs up in the top. I'm also a drummer, and I also play guitar and bass and all that stuff.
Really?
So it's really weird, two 3D printing YouTubers who are musicians in Kansas City, not more than probably 25 minutes away from each other.
Have you played in bands around town in the last 2 decades?
Not in this town. Down in Springfield for a while, I was in a couple of bands, but by the time I moved back up here, was married and kind of settling down. So,
Right on.
yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot. I still play, but not really anything organized like in a traditional band anymore, which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I played a lot. Well, since the 90s, since the late 90s, I played a lot in Kansas City and in a few different bands and many different venues around town. But I actually did have somewhat of a career for a while where we had people paying us to go places, but that ended quickly, and so day jobs and everything else continues. But so it was the symbols are just because I can't throw them away. They're way too expensive to get rid of. So
very true, especially the A Customs. I think I went to Sabian because Sabian was a little bit on the cheaper side for the same kind of brilliance. Once I really like the Omni, and I think James just hurt himself. You all right, James? Okay. James.
He's probably all right.
I hope so. That's cool. What kind of kit you got, or did you have, or?
I got a couple of kits. So
First off, what genre are you? You know.
Yeah, so I was kind of throwback from the '90s, right? With like post-grunge movement, that kind of thing. It's still available for sale. It's still out on Spotify and the whole 9 yards. I still get checks. It's just they're very small checks. But so the other half of this was a recording studio at one time.
Nice.
And I have a drum room and a silent room and all that stuff over there. So I got a DW set, I got a sonar set, but I mean they're large room sets, right? They're the recording sets.
Yeah.
So I don't go around and play much, but it was very extensive at one point, but no, it's just another hobby has passed, and now we're on to something else. So.
That's the name of the game, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah. Right before I stopped playing like on a regular basis, not right before, I'd say maybe 5 years before the band that I was in decided to kind of call it quits because we were all going our different ways, I was able to get my hands on a Truth kit. And I still have the Truth kit. It's a really nice kit, just I don't have anywhere to play it. It's like all dressed up and nowhere to go,
Yep. How long have you been in Kansas City?
All my life, really. I mean, I was down in Springfield for, I got to do the math on this one. I think about 4 years I was down there. I initially went down to go to college, and then I promptly dropped out of college and just stayed down there because all my friends were down there. But yeah, I was down there. I actually managed a Radio Shack in Springfield, Missouri. While we did the band, and we toured from like Illinois, Kentucky, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. We kind of did a little tour circuit there, and we were like a throwback to 70s classic rock. Like, we didn't do any covers. We wrote songs that sounded like a mix of Zeppelin and AC/DC, and then throw in some like other random 70s aspects in there, but it sounded a lot like those two specifically. And then I was in a hardcore band for a while too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I was going to ask you. So, do you know Coalesce and James DeWeese and the Get Up Kids and those guys?
Not personally. I know a couple of members out of each, but not like all of them.
Yeah.
Like Mute Math and like I know Kristen, who's now the lead singer for Flyleaf. That's you just the kind of people you meet in passing, and then others that you kind of know more because you hung out with them.
Big shout out tonight to everybody that showed up to hear about some 3D printing. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're almost done with this conversation.
No, I'm just messing with you.
No, but yeah, no, that's good to hear. Like I say, I've been around, my whole life. I've been playing music around Kansas City, but I've known a lot of people that have come up, like Wes Scantlin. I knew a girl that did his homework. I mean, just Kansas City is a very small knit music community. There aren't really all that many of us, compared to other cities. But, no, that's good to hear. That's very interesting.
Okay, let's talk about 3D printing.
So Micro Center is the greatest.
Per the king. I was at Micro Center today. I picked up 4 rolls of Inland, and I finally got my hands on one of these because I've been using a mix of a whole bunch of other tools to get my
dude, I love my build tax batch.
It really works incredibly well. I wasn't expecting it to work as well as it did.
Well, and then, they said that you can sharpen the edge a little bit more if you want. They just can't because of liability. But what I do is I use a safety razor, like what everybody calls a regular razor blade.
Yeah.
And I very gently work that under one corner, just enough that I can then get this under the razor blade and and then I get the razor blade out of there and poof, comes right off.
Yeah, I was incredibly surprised with how well it worked. And I was like, well, even having that extra leverage with the way the configuration of the handle to get the prints off the bed.
Yeah, well, because when you're pushing on it, then you're pushing down, like you're not.
Yeah, and you're pushing forward as well instead of having to like have your hand like flat. This. Your hand can. It's like you're punching under the print instead of like stabbing under the print, which actually makes a difference.
I usually just punch the print right off the printer because,
well,
that's how bad AI am.
Or all that is man.
So I have been getting a lot of comments about why are you still buying Inland, and Mike is saying the same thing. So Joe Mike, have you experienced the new Inland issues that everyone else has been saying? I have a couple of rolls of it, but I haven't got through them yet.
Have I experienced the new? Well, here's my. So I talk with Sam Snyder, who is the buyer for Microsoft. I talk to her pretty regularly. Micro Center. Sorry, I've got dad brain now, which basically is lack of sleep.
Let's not give Microsoft any props that make them sound cool.
No, I hate Microsoft right now for a couple of reasons, but we won't get into that. So basically, my biggest grief with Inland at the moment is they've got let me show you. Hold on.
Yeah, I bought a couple of rolls when I was up in Georgia. I don't know if it's the new stuff or the old stuff, but I haven't printed with it yet.
So here's a roll of, as you can see on the package, it says green. So you'd expect this to be a nice green. That's totes teal.
Yeah, that's
that is a dark teal, and I wish it picked up better.
Now, wasn't it you that maybe you're going to show this next?
Yeah.
The gray?
The Gurple? The gray purple? The lavender?
Hey, from Canada.
The Gravender?
Hey, back from Canada.
So it's a thing. I mean, there's rolls of this stuff out there, and when I went to Micro Center today to get a different green, this is all the green that they had left that was regular green, which it's not green, so I didn't buy any, but I did end up getting a lighter green. So what I have found is that right now most of the inconsistencies are in the normal Inland stuff. So right now they're in the process of still taking out old stock and putting in the new stock.
Brian Vine said if the filament has a rough texture to it, it's the new stuff.
Exactly. If the filament has a rough texture to it, it's the new stuff. And if you get the PLA Plus, it's all new stuff. And in all honesty, I like the new stuff a lot.
Really?
I do. You can't print it like the old Inland, but once you get your temp settings correct and dialed in, it works fine.
Well, that's good because I haven't tried it yet. I got a couple rolls, and like I said, I didn't know if it was the new or the old, so I'll have to check now. But
I just printed a little hotter than the old Inland, but I've been pretty satisfied with the results of the Plus, which is all the new stuff, and I've even got some of the new regular Inland, and other than the color discrepancies, it prints the same as the Plus. So, yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
So, I would like to know the real story behind all of that.
Which story?
Well,
why they switched?
Okay, so I'm a company, and I have this product that sells marvelously. And then all of a sudden I change it because I claim I can't get enough of it. So I go to a new distributor. So it's a new product, and I've abandoned the old product completely. That just doesn't make sense. Wouldn't you still bring in as much of the old stuff as you possibly could?
It has to do with the way that they buy it.
Yeah, but I would keep buying it. I would keep buying it however I was buying it. If it was a hot seller.
There are contracts involved. as far as who gets to be inland, I mean, I can't really go into it too much.
I guess that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it's, you know, a lot of people speculated on what actually was. I mean, it's
always, yeah.
Yeah, you've got a handful of Chinese companies that make, you know, filament for a handful or more than a handful for a large amount of the resellers. So, for example, and I'm going to get dinged on this, but if you like the old inland filament, go over to Matter Hackers and buy their build series.
Build series, yeah.
Their build series is made by the same people who made the old inland filament.
Why would you get dinged for that? We support Matter Hackers.
I know, but I don't know necessarily if Matter Hackers wants me disclosing, you know, company secrets, even though this one I figured out on my own because all I had to do was look at the frickin' spools.
Well, that's not really a company secret, though. You still, I mean, nobody knows where it came from. You just know that it's...
I know where it came from.
Well, but you didn't say
that part.
You didn't say where it came. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, so it's the same stuff as inland.
Yeah.
So
I know where it came from because I knew where inland came from before the new buyout, and I know where the new inland comes from. I also know who else is branded under the new inland, and you'd be surprised. It's amazing.
Well, there's not that many filament manufacturers.
That's right, especially in China. You would think there's a ton in China, but I mean, there's only a handful that have resellability like these particular companies have. And it's amazing to see the polarization between the brands. It's like so you see, there's a handful of brands that I know that all use the same manufacturer to make their filament. The recipe for the filament is exactly the same. All they do is change the Pantones. So one company will go and say, these are the colors that we want you to produce for us. Another company will go and say, these are the colors we want you to produce for us. So you might see different shades of blue, different shades of orange, different shades of yellow, but it's all made by the same manufacturer using the same PLA recipe.
Right.
And it blows my mind to see how, like, people will praise one brand and then say, oh, this brand is crap, when they're made by the same company and they're the same filament. It boggles my mind. It's like that there's a brand blinder. Oh, trademark. A brand blinder that's put on.
Yeah, but some of that could also be, too, like different colors print differently. So maybe you get one roll of company A in blue and you get a roll of company B in green, and you have a hard time with the green, so you blame that company on, or you blame it on that company completely, as opposed to getting it dialed in, you know?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And I mean, you're going to find green's difficult with pretty much every brand you go to, and red's not always the best.
That's why I picked on green, because green is a hard color to print.
Yeah.
Not an AIO, though. AIO robotics green prints fantastically. I had to throw that in there. You know, I love AIO.
I have not printed with AIO yet.
That's terrible.
Or IC3D.
That's really terrible, because that's really good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if Sean wants to send me some samples, I'd be more than happy to play with it to see if I like it.
Have you asked? I bet he will.
I haven't asked him. I mean, I don't like to just hop on and go, hey, send me stuff, Sean.
Well,
send me stuff. Unless it's Dave. Dave, I'll just straight up go, hey, Dave, send me some whatever.
I have never asked Matter Hackers for any product free. And the only reason that I haven't is because I don't buy from them, not for any reason. I love Matter Hackers. They're fantastic to the community. It's just everything that I do, I already have a source for my stuff. And then, like, parts I always order from Printed Solid. So, yeah. I mean, I have no issues against Matter Hackers. I love those guys. But
I use them for different things. I mean, I balance my love, I guess I would say, across all the people who have been kind enough to support, you know, what I do. Matter Hackers definitely is up there as far as people who help me and support me.
Right.
And then printed solid, I'm pretty close with that brand because
I didn't know that.
yeah, I mean, little things here and there like maker boxes and stuff. But
tell me about that maker box. Is that any good? Should I get that?
Well, the maker box, I mean, only if you really enjoy playing with new filaments and seeing and discovering, amazing things that are out there that you may not have found previously or ever.
Or just having candy delivered to your house every month.
Candy's nice too. That and I like how ever since maker box got put under the printed solid roof,
yeah,
they now include a little bit of a larger sample of like the PLAs and stuff, which is really fun to play with because then you can take it past what you would normally do with your 50-gram sample because then you got like a 100-gram sample or 150-gram sample or whatever they throw in there. Plus stickers. Who doesn't love stickers?
I do love some stickers. I'm actually working on getting some stickers that I can send them so I can be in a box.
Yeah,
I just can't. My stickers are like 65 cents a piece. I can't do 1,000 stickers. 65-cent stickers. That I just can't afford that.
Yeah, I had to. That was one of the things I had to get Dave Randolph when we were at Murph. I had a Ziploc bag full of I want to say 1,200 JMT decals, so they could throw them in the box. And it was like a bum rush to get 1,200 decals. But luckily, I have like 2 friends who have silhouettes and other vinyl cutters.
Yeah.
So they just
because you did cut stickers.
Yeah, straight up vinyl cut out. So no color, no anything like that.
Yeah, I have a plotter from my T-shirt days, but I don't know. It's not that I couldn't make the sticker, but it wouldn't be the same being just one color. I'm too posh for that. So Chris, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Stop talking music and you stop talking.
No, just mining a couple of different print farms here.
What happened to James?
I don't know.
We heard a noise and then he went silent.
He hasn't been back since that?
No. No, he hasn't. If anyone lives near James, please go check on him.
Nobody lives near James. Oh. Those darn Canardians. And I've been completely ignoring chat, and I apologize.
Does Richard live near James?
No, he's down. He's more towards the west coast.
Wow,
James is in Ontario.
Freaking Canada's so big.
It's like real wide, like the United States is.
Yeah, Ricky, they ran me off of Canadian Maker Project stream last night. I got scared and ran.
How so?
No, they were just. I got on there for a minute because I had a couple of seconds free, and they were, being the usual self. It wasn't that big a deal, but it was pretty funny.
That's kind of like when Joel jumped in on the Friday night stream last week, and then like everybody was talking, so he didn't say, "Hey guys, I gotta go." He just left and sent me a DM on Twitter, which I didn't see until after the stream was over. It's like, Joel just like left.
Yeah. So, Walter, sorry. About the stream tomorrow. I don't know. I am streaming tomorrow morning. I got a bunch of stuff to do tomorrow morning during that stream. We'll see how far it goes, and then maybe we can tie it in, or I'll jump onto that stream as well.
All right. Well, I've got a guest lined up for tomorrow.
Excellent.
It's me.
You can't do it 2 weeks in a row, or that makes you a regular non-guest.
I seem to always hop on his streams when he's doing them. I'm just like DMing him. I'm like, let me on.
Yeah, but that's the cool part about doing the hangouts is you have that option, I mean, this is it's a very informal. I wasn't doing anything specific. I just fired it up because I was already standing here. So it's it's kind of cool because now people that follow me that don't know who you are will figure out who you are, and then they'll come and follow you. Which I guess this is the point where I should say, hey, everybody, if you guys don't subscribe to Joe Mike or Chris Riley or James from Print and Play, now's a great time to do it. Or subscribe to each other in the chat. That's always fun, too.
We'll see you later, Ricky. Have a good show, man.
Good night, Ricky. Be safe, brother.
So I'm pretty sure I just accidentally drank resin.
That you what?
I accidentally drank resin.
You drank resin?
I think it fell in my drink when I was pulling the bed off, because I just finished like what was left in my drink, and then after I swallowed, it tastes the way it smells. So it's got a toxicity level for organs of 3 out of 5.
Poison control.
Yeah,
hotline.
I think I would call poison control.
Well, I'm reading
21222.
He's in Canada. Do they have a different poison control?
It's different here. The ingestion stuff. So the one I drank, it says drink enough water to spit if you accidentally drink it, and consult a physician. So I don't know what they consider an amount that we should be concerned about, because it would have just been like a drop.
Are you close to Ontario?
I'm in Ontario.
You're in okay, Ontario Poison Center. Okay. By the way, the Ontario Poison Center warns of possible contaminants in street drug supply.
Yeah,
so watch your heroin there.
You don't want to get on dirty drugs.
1-800-268-9017 if you start feeling a little off.
Yeah, it's basically what it says. It says so that's the other thing too, is the instruction in English. Drink enough water to spit if you accidentally drink it. So I don't know if that's saying drink water till you throw up. I can't imagine that I consumed enough that would be an issue, because like the amount that would have dripped into my thing off of the build platform is, you know.
If it's any consolation, I mean, I'm pretty sure I've licked my fingers after handling PO poly resin.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Just the amount that you'd have on your hands, and then you wipe your face, and it works its way to your mouth, maybe. Yeah. But I mean, I'm telling you to go throw up. Just do it off camera.
I've never ever been able to actually make myself throw up. So.
Well, not only that, but we don't do things off camera, so let it rip, brother.
This is what we call YouTube gold. Do it. Don't do it, please, because we don't want to.
Yeah, no, that'd be fine. I think you'd lose viewers.
We don't want to start a chain reaction. It's like Goonies.
Like maybe it's just in my head, because I was thinking as I was finishing it that like resin dripped off the thing onto the table and stuff as I was pulling it out, because it got on my laptop, and like I probably shouldn't finish this drink as I'm finishing it, and like because it was right next to it and then I could taste it, and I was like,
oh, so, you're fine. As long as you don't start like convulsing or anything, you should be peachy.
Well, and we heard some like crazy ruckus. And then
it sounded like you fell out of your chair or something.
Yeah, no, I cannot describe the ruckus, but it was a ruckus. And then
gosh, did you just literally make a Breakfast Club reference?
Absolutely.
I think only maybe a quarter of your viewership may actually get that reference.
Oh, but they're used to that with me, because, you know, like I always do stuff that's like...
There goes the old man with his old man thing.
Yeah. Oh, there's the old guy jokes again. So I have to be careful, because I don't want to give anything away for this week's Anders Thing Thursday, but it's the 1-year mark. It's his 52nd episode of doing Anders Thing Thursday. So to celebrate him, you know, putting up with it for a whole year, I like right here on camera, I punched him in the stomach. You know, I told him to man up. No, he said to me today, because he was going through all the old videos, which, you know, if you'd ever go back and watch your old videos, you have to, because that's just, it's just cringeworthy.
No,
but, it's a good way to see where you've been, and a good way to refine yourself.
Yeah, yeah. But he said to me, he stops and he looks at me and he goes, "You pick on me a lot when you're editing." And I said, "It's about time you notice." Because almost all of the videos, like there's something in there where I pick on him through there, point out his mistakes. But this week's will be good. But you know, prepare some popcorn because it's 8.5 minutes long. So my old videos totally make me cringe. Absolutely, it's so funny. Well, and you know, like Xander said to me today, "Oh, Walter, stop that."
Why did he say that's a weird thing for him to say to you?
No, Walter just threw me $10. Thank you, Walter, but please stop that. No, now I lost my train of thought. My train just derailed. He said to me, he goes, "Yeah, you told me that like I had to be all serious and I couldn't screw around." and I did, you know, way back in the beginning. I'm like, dude, we have to be professional about this. We can't be joking around and stuff. And, you know, with a name like Fun King, and I'm telling him to be all serious. So, and as you can see, we threw that out the window. We don't do anything serious now.
I really wish you would have adopted like the voice of the Candy King from Wreck-It Ralph.
I don't know if I could do that voice, but I'll work on it.
The Candy King. It's not like
my voice is like I do accents, but a lot of times they just happen. Like I can't necessarily do it intentionally. Like I can force an Indian accent or a Mexican accent, but like Scottish, I can do a good Scottish accent, but not if I'm trying.
a little bit of Gaelic.
When we were in DC, we got up to come home. Like the last day we were there, and we were heading out to go to. We were actually heading to south of the border, and for whatever reason, my brain just said, "Hey, it's a good time to do a Scottish accent." And I'm in the car just doing a Scottish accent, just for no reason, as we're going to south of the border.
I enjoy playing on my little, you know, I've got a very Italian last name, and it's so Italian that if I go somewhere that someone doesn't know me, I can actually pretty convincingly make them think that I am Italian. If I get someone in on the joke as well, and then they'll talk to me and I'll go, "Scusi." Mia English. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, I did a Yoda impression at the end of one of Xander's Thing Thursdays just recently, and like people were commenting, "That's a great Yoda," and I thought, really? I thought it was pretty terrible because like I'm not good with stuff like that, but okay, I'll take the compliment.
That was the first thing I thought when I heard that. I was like, Xander, you don't need to have a good Yoda impression. He's totally got this.
Well, it was a fluke. I'll let that secret out right now.
That was funny though. I liked it.
So if anybody's interested, this is the Eiffel Tower that is now complete. I don't even know actually which camera is showing right now. So
what printer is that?
We pretty much see your fingers.
Dun, 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 dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun. What printer is that, James?
It's the Flying Bear Shine.
Oh.
And it's doing a pretty solid job, to be completely honest. Not that that's the best camera, but it's.
So what's that printer retail for?
I'm not sure. I think it's on sale right now for like $5.69 Canadian, something like that. Let me look it up.
How about real money?
I almost said it. I almost said something that would have gotten this demonetized.
No, you got to be careful on my channel.
Yeah, I try to be respectful on Glenn's channel until around 11 o'clock at night during the Friday night things. 12 o'clock his time.
Well, even then, it's never really gotten off the rails.
It looks like it's about 5-something US. It's 774 Canadian.
Wow, that is crazy.
It's got a build platform of like 65 by 1. What did I say earlier? I think I looked it up earlier. 65 by 120 by
200, I think you said.
Yeah.
No, that's a crazy difference in money.
And I will also say, although it's not like my favorite print, mostly because I don't like the model that much, this print here, I got this, I put resin in the tank, I leveled the bed and clicked the start, like the sample file on the on the cart, and it printed first shot, no problem.
Did you say you didn't like the model?
The model's not my favorite.
That's because it's the Eiffel Tower and it's French.
Incorrect, because that's not what I was showing when I was saying it.
I'm not watching. I'm not even on the camera right now. I'm like,
it's this bird.
I was just trying to pick on the French. I don't even know if we have any French followers.
Well, you don't now.
No,
Yeah,
I pick on everybody equally, and they know it.
Equal opportunity bully.
Hey
Right?
Glenn, check it out. I'm flipping you the bird.
I wish I had a hoonie.
I mean, everybody needs something to complain about.
Hey, Chris, I bet if you reach out to them and ask them, they'll send you one. They're looking for anybody to say something nice about that piece of crap.
I'd take it.
Which piece of crap?
The Hoonie.
This is the first ABS print off of the Ghost. It isn't. I didn't finish the enclosure part of it, so it did split a little. But I mean, it stuck to the bed, so he looks as lifeless as I do.
Poor Groot.
Maybe he drank resin.
I am Groot.
My wife is in New Zealand right now, and she's like, call poison control anyways. I'm like, I'll call poison control if I start to feel off. I almost added, I've had a good run to the end of it, but I think that would just upset her, so I'm not going to do it.
Oh, that's harsh.
She doesn't like that joke.
All right, guys. I think I'm going to step away.
No, you can't. You're here forever.
Chris, before you go.
Yep.
I need to figure out a way to get in touch with you so we can do crap.
Yeah.
He's brotherchris81@gmail.com or something.
That's true. That's about it. That's the only way you can get a hold of me.
Wait, did I just get your email address right first shot?
That's fine. I give it to everyone.
No, but I got it right.
You
that's
did,
my
You got it right and gave it out publicly without asking first.
Brother Chris?
Yeah, brotherchris81@gmail.com.
I only did it because it's on his Facebook profile or YouTube profile.
How'd you get the name Brother Chris?
All these people are on my Twitter and my Facebook.
Yep.
Especially Mike Mullins.
Do you actually have a Twitter?
No, I don't have anything except YouTube.
Okay. So how did you get the name Brother Chris?
I got that name a million years ago.
Now, Chris,
Good story.
I was told that you are actually an ordained minister. Is that true?
I am, yeah.
That is awesome.
Me too.
That is awesome. I don't know who told me that, but
Yeah.
I kept forgetting to ask you.
I'm not ordained, but I'm licensed.
Really?
Yeah. That's crazy. What denomination are you ordained with?
Universal Light.
Interesting. Yeah, we need to hang out.
Hey, you guys gonna find out like you were brothers separated at birth?
Well, I mean, I used to have long hair and gauges. I let myself be domesticated a bit, and
yeah, you'd freak out if you realized where I worked, because they do every time I come in. On the domesticated side of things, I just go, I don't need to be.
I'm smart enough that I don't have to be.
Not a problem. Funny. Okay, last story of the evening. So, funny thing. So where I work now in Kansas City, I walked into the interview and I told the guy, it's like, I really wasn't looking for a job at that time, right? I just happened to get an interview, and I said, look, I really don't. You know, you've got all these applicants out in the lobby or whatever. I really don't care, but I would really like to tour your data center. And he just dropped his pen and his paper. He's like, let's go take a look. And so we got to walk around this huge data center and everything. And I was like, oh, I know one of those. I know one of those. And he's like, well, next week's my birthday, so I'm not going to be doing any. I'm going to take that whole week off, and I'm not going to be doing any hiring until after that. And I said, what day's your birthday? And he's like, so, and I'm like, that's my birthday, and it was. We had the same birthday, 10 years apart. We were a decade apart, and he said, well, I think I'm done looking at applicants. I'll talk to you later. 2 weeks later, he called me. He's like, yep, that's it. You got the job. When do you want to start? Your desk is here. Your parking spot's here, and we're done. And I really, honestly, I already had a job, but it was really fun to go in and walk around the data center and look at this guy. And it was awesome. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. So that's been my career ever since. But that was such a cool experience.
That's cool. Oh, sorry, I was just reading the chat.
Who did I marry? I don't know.
His wife. Gosh, what a dumb question.
Did marry somebody else's wife.
Hey, Chris, are you allowed to say who you work for?
I am not.
You are not, but there was a data center.
Yeah. Well, I could, Joe Mike, I can tell you, it's a very large data center by the airport. So, if that.
Enough said.
All right.
So, what do you do?
I am a mainframe systems programmer officially.
Wow. Okay.
So I move. I do large iron hardware across nationally, right? So coast to coast. I configure large iron hardware basically. That's all I do. There's only 5 of us, so that's what they hired me to do.
You work like a stone's throw away from me. I work for the Purple guys.
Okay.
If
It
you've
would
ever
have been really funny if you found out you guys work for the same company.
We might. I don't know. There's a lot of us.
Yeah, I'm a level 3 sysadmin over at the Purple guys, which is just off of 35.
Yeah, but you just started there recently.
Yeah, no, I was a IT manager over in Lenexa before that.
Oh, okay. So not over by the airport at a data center.
No. I mean, I would travel to our North KC office, which was actually over the river, which is still kind of by the airport, but yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking for more connections between you two.
Yeah, I've been over there 15, 16 years now. It's been good.
So you started there when you were what, 8?
Yeah, pretty much. I started in IT, really, honestly, though. I started in data centers when I was like 15, something like that. I was hanging magnet tape, the round reels. Yeah. They just hand me a stack and I'd start running, right, and put them on all these different drives. That's how I started in IT. So I've been doing it a long time. 22 years.
Used to fix computers for TWA before I was even close to 16 because my grandfather owned a company that was basically the managed service provider for TWA. They contracted out before TWA went belly up. So he'd bring home laptops and desktops and I'd fix them. And I wasn't very old at all. And he didn't pay me until I was 16 and he got me my first car as payment for services rendered. But that's how I got into the whole thing. Well, I got into it before that, but obviously he had to kind of bring me up throughout the years of computer building and stuff like that to be able to fix computers at that age.
Nice.
But it was fun. What's my wife texting me about here?
I looked up and Fun King was all over the screen, but it's just Nightbot. Paul, yes, absolutely. Both boys loved their gifts, and you'll see that in Monday's video. Harley, if you're not already gone, you have a good night.
Someone asked, I think it was Paul, how you doing, Joe Mike? I'm doing well, Paul. I'm tired, but I'm doing well.
Paul's a really good guy.
Yeah.
I like Paul. He sends us lots of fan mail.
Seems to hop up on streams pretty regularly, which is really good because I like the regular attenders. They have a good understanding. Him and Johnny Mac.
Oh yeah, John Mac. John Mac's an awesome guy.
John Mac.
I wanted to spend more time with him at Earth, and I just did not get a chance to.
He was all over the place at Murph, just like I passed him in like passing, and he's like, "I'm John Mack." I'm like, "Hey, John Mack in the flesh."
Yeah, he didn't have a booth at Murph, but he had a booth at Earth.
Yeah, he's closer to me than you guys at Earth.
What's that?
So he was closer to me than he was to you guys at Earth. I got to chat. He bailed me out. When I had the issues with the arcade for, I guess it was the IC3D one. He gave me a Raspberry Pi to replace the Orange Pi I was trying to get set up on it.
That Earth or Murph?
At Earth.
The E.
Yeah. Rated E for everyone.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy that would give you the shirt off his back. Give you the shirt off your back. No.
He takes it off you and then goes, "Here you go."
I think I'm tired too. Take your shirt off and give it to yourself.
Hey, I have a shirt just like this.
That's even my size.
Have you been talking to my wife?
Well, I'm done drilling. And for those of you who don't understand what that means assembly comes next.
Excellent.
Oh yeah? Are you gonna get your first print off tonight then?
Yeah, we're just gonna live stream this build right to the end.
Do it.
So for those of you who weren't here in the beginning, this is how long the printer is. It's actually 40 millimeters longer than this, but this is how wide it is, just so that it puts it into perspective.
I could say something right now that would get you demonetized on this video real quick.
No, it's not even about the demonetization. This is a family channel.
I'm a family kind of guy. There's just some observations are just too good to pass.
Are you looking to make like a compensation joke? Because those have already been made.
No, not a compensation joke. Oh, Chris, do you need to go? I'm sorry, man. I pulled you away from
No, that's fine. I am off for the evening. I will be on stream tomorrow if anybody is around. I'm sure all the usuals will be there, but I will see you bright and early in the morning. And thanks for having me, Glenn. Appreciate it.
You always stream when I'm in church, so that doesn't work for me. But do your best to join us for Fun in the Country Basement tomorrow.
I will do my best. So.
And thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Good to talk to you, Joe Mike.
Yeah. Let's meet up and like go to Casconi's or something.
There you go. Well, get some gates.
Gates. My wife doesn't like gates, but I love it.
There you go. So that's perfect. You go have a date with Chris instead.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Night, Chris.
Night, brother.
Okay, I guess I'll hold down the basement side now.
Yeah. Well, James is in the basement too.
No, I'm not. I'm in the dining room.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
My basement is completely torn apart right now because I'm redoing the way I'm going to be filming down there. I should actually send you a picture. I mean, it's a disaster, but you can at least see, because I told you what I was going to do, but now I've actually started doing it.
Right. Well, my upstairs is a disaster too, just not right here. It's all the rest of the upstairs that's a disaster. I do have to spend some time and get reorganized. We're going to change a couple of things. We're going to have a secondary set. I guess is the way I should put it, to not give away the secrets. But
he's moving into the bedroom.
So no, my upstairs is quite large. I have space in front of me, so we're gonna have a secondary set over there.
I sent you a picture on Twitter, Glenn.
Okay.
That's kind of what I do down here. Is I have the one that's actually like over here,
where you film your technical stuff.
Yeah, it's where I film like what I like to call my formal videos, and then this is like my streaming setup here, and then over there is where all the like soldering and really technical stuff happens. So I've got cameras freaking everywhere. You know, I'm running. Hold on, let me count this. I'm running 11 webcams in my basement right now, and
yeah, but that you're talking about your like Octoprint ones too, right?
Yeah, some of them are. But I've also got a couple of IP cams that can tilt and pan and zoom.
So they can be anything you need them to be.
Exactly, because there's some angles of the printers that I want to get when I just can't get with an Octoprint image. So I'll hop onto the IP cam and just adjust over and look at the printer and zoom in because they're 1080p, and I'm like, oh well, that's fine. You know, it's
Yeah,
still.
I'm thinking about putting a couple of those up on the ceiling so that I can like zoom in on whatever printer I need to see.
They're incredibly handy, and you can get them for like $50 off Amazon.
But are they any good? I bought a $40 one. I guess it's been a couple years ago now. So I guess scratch that question.
The one that I just got is pretty good. You have to use it through their app.
Yeah, that's how the one I had was too, which was a little bit annoying. Plus, I don't know, it would do this weird thing where all of a sudden the camera would jet off to one side on its own.
Yeah, this one doesn't do that.
Is that the one that Uncle Jesse was pushing a couple weeks ago, where it was on sale?
I don't know, actually.
I know he put up a post, and there was one that was like, it was a 1080p camera, and it was on sale, I think, for like $39 or something like that. But I couldn't get it in Canada.
I don't know what one. This one uses WAN's view, but like it even has gyroscope on and off, so you can actually pan and tilt it by pan and tilting your phone, which is kind of cool. And then you can, like, there's the scroll wheel on my palette, and so I can like zoom in,
make sure it's still running filament.
Yeah, and then because one of my biggest things with the palette and leaving it is if the filament either comes uncoupled and then at any given part inside the tube, it can come uncoupled. So I have to have cameras covering every inch of that tube. And so that's what I did.
What I've learned in my years of 3D printing is whenever I look at a camera and I think something looks a little off, and I'm like, oh, it's probably just a shadow. It's never a shadow. And I always come home to a failed print.
Oh, it's a shadow. It's just the shadow of death.
Yeah. Like, I love when I look at a print and it's like, it's just after it's jammed, and I'm looking at it's like one layer above where it should be going down. I'm like, it doesn't look like it's making. I'm like, oh, I'm sure it's fine. And then you look an hour later, and it's like an inch off the bed, and you're like, oh, that sucks.
I don't have print failures.
Well, it's because you never print anything anymore.
No, I don't. This stuff back here, it's just for looks. None of it even works.
You're fun king, not print king.
That's right.
Always having fun, never printing none.
I'm the pretend king. Yeah, so for the record, that's the whole entire FK-1, you know, printed wise.
That's your IC 3D Fun King Yellow?
Yes, it is. That is everything but the extruder assembly. Because I had to redesign that because I decided to go with BL Touch instead of an inductive sensor.
Good on you.
It's a better route to go anyways, if we're being honest.
I love BL Touch.
Significantly more.
That seemed to be the general consensus.
If I, you know, wasn't running primarily Prusa printers and the Pinda wasn't such a good setup for the bed, I mean, because the Pinda plus the bed, the MK42 bed, equals an amazing combination when it comes to Prusa printers.
Yeah.
But on all my other printers that had auto leveling, they all have BL Touches, so I've been using them since they've come out.
Well, the sensor that I ordered for it is supposed to be like the closest thing to a knockoff Pinda that you can get. It's you know, it's 5 volt and blah blah blah. But you know, I started doing the reading and I was looking at what other high quality printers were using. You know, like G-Create uses the BL Touch. Chris Lane's Venturi 3D uses the BL Touch. You know, so I thought, well, maybe that's the way to go. And what sealed the deal is when I reached out to Paris at Ant Collabs and said, hey, would you be willing to sponsor it? And she's like, here you go. That sealed it.
Yeah, she will gladly give you like a package full of BL Touches and coffee and candy.
Yeah, I didn't get any candy, but she sent me 3 BL Touches for 1 printer. She had said to me, well, how many printers do you have? And I'm like, well, I have like 7, but I only want to put 1, you know, I'm only looking for 1 for the project. You know, I didn't want to be greedy. And then she sent me 3 with the wiring kits.
Yeah. She wants you to give them away, in all honesty. Like, she wants you to like do contests and give them away and get them into the hands of as many people as possible. And
oh, interesting.
it's a big community. She really leans on the community to provide a good amount of the configuration and support. Like at the initial launch of the BL Touch, there was a little bit of support for certain boards and certain printers that that she had done, but because of the community, now you can go onto their Google Plus forum or you can go onto their Facebook. Every single board in existence.
That's awesome.
Almost every printer, because it just feeds into the community, or the community just keeps feeding into it. So yeah, she's more than happy to get as many of those out into the wild as possible, especially when she gets new revisions out. It's so weird to see you drill and it's silent.
It's DeWalt's new silent drill.
Yeah. I have
Well,
that
it's silent but deadly.
Mine's not silent.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of DeWalt, not because of the color. I've been a fan of DeWalt for a long time.
Yeah, I've been using DeWalt since I can remember.
I've been using it for so long. Black & Decker didn't own it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was kind of one of my bummer moments, was when I realized that Black & Decker bought DeWalt, and I was like, oh, come on. We had such a good thing going.
Yeah, but they didn't destroy it. I really thought that they were going to destroy the whole entire brand, and they didn't.
They own a ton of companies now.
Black & Decker does?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They went on this huge buying spree. Okay, let's go through.
Well, it's funny because Harbor Freight hired DeWalt's quality control manager away from DeWalt. And now if you notice, like a lot of, I don't know if you shop Harbor Freight, but a lot of the drills and stuff look just like DeWalt drills.
Yeah. And, well, I mean, one of the largest companies as far as hand tools is concerned was just bought by them not too long ago. You know which one?
Are you going to say Craftsman?
Yeah.
Because Stanley bought Craftsman. Does Black & Decker own Stanley?
Stanley is Black & Decker.
Okay. So I knew that the Stanley brand bought the Craftsman brand, but I didn't know who owned the Stanley brand.
Yeah, they're called Stanley Black & Decker.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if they've always been the same thing or if one bought out the other at some point.
Well, they bought them after Craftsman decided to go to China.
Yeah, well, I know
their
that.
quality went down. So
No, I'm talking about the Stanley Black & Decker relationship.
right.
Because I'm pretty sure that Black & Decker was founded by a dude named Stanley. Last name Stanley. I need to find. Hold on.
I'm going to duck out. I got to go shut down all my stuff in the basement before the power outage tonight.
Oh, whatever.
Oh, and I don't know anything about tools except for one of my best friends is a tool, but he lives in the States and runs a YouTube channel.
Agree. Always a comedian.
I mean, I'm not good at anything else. I can pun. I can pun with the best of them.
Well, as long as you have fun punning.
I think
I should change my name to Pun King 3D.
I think you can pun better than the best of them.
Right? I should change my name to Pun King 3D.
That would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Totally make like a parody channel.
Yeah. It'll be James's Grown Thursdays. It'll just be a really bad joke. I'll just use the jokes you use.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. The worse they are, the better I like them. Yeah, I just got a new subscriber, and he left me a comment and said, "Hey, I just found your channel and subscribed. I'm like, I really love 3D printing and bad jokes." And I thought, well, then my channel's perfect for you.
Welcome home, subscriber. Welcome home.
Because I do 3D printing, and we definitely do some bad jokes. Jim Carter actually submitted the one for this week's Xander's Thing Thursday, so you guys be prepared for that one.
Well, you gentlemen have a wonderful night.
You too, brother. Thanks for hanging
the power
out with me.
isn't down for too long tomorrow because I have stuff to do.
What's that?
I said, hopefully the power isn't down for too long tomorrow because I have stuff to do.
Yeah, that kind of sucks to not have.
Eddie Moser and I are working on a project together, sort of working on a project together. We had similar ideas for something, but for different reasons. So rather than doing the same work twice, the parts that are common we're working on together.
Well, that's cool.
I was planning to get the next part of that printed, but each of the parts is like a 15-hour print, and I don't have 15 hours tonight. So
Yeah.
but luckily he was like, "Hey, did you model in the mounts for this?" And I was like, "Oh no, well, it's a good thing I didn't start printing."
That's a good way to do a collaboration.
It is, and he's a smart guy too.
Don't say that. He's in the chat, and then
I don't think he's in chat now.
No, he's not in chat now. All right, because then he gets a big ego, and he's a good guy. Yeah.
Good meeting you too, Paul.
I want to do more collaborations with people. I just suck at coming up with the idea.
John Mac, I'm fine. If I start to feel awful, I will immediately call poison control. And I'm not far from a hospital. And yeah. I try to visit the hospital every couple of days, just because it's free.
Yeah, free healthcare. Free healthcare.
It's like you're not using it to its full extent if you're not using it, It's just you got to do it. Okay, you guys have a good night. I'm gonna have to tell Joe Mike to handle the punning for the rest of the night.
Well, I can't do my own puns.
But we want good ones.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I am my own biggest fan.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, good night, brother.
Take it easy. Thanks for the hangout.
Absolutely.
Oh, one more thing before I leave. Can you do me a favor?
You started that, Joe Mike. You started that whole thing of just dropping out. All right, so you got to sing everybody a song for a minute because I got a drill, so I'm going to mute my mic. I think your mic is muted. We can't hear you. Nope, no audio. One word. Is it a movie?
I don't know why this.
Hey, there you go.
It just keeps quitting on me for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, so the Wikipedia page for Stanley Black & Decker. So Stanley Black & Decker Inc., formerly known as Stanley Works. So Stanley was the initial name. And so Black & Decker is just a part of that. It was founded by Frederick Trent Stanley in 1843.
Wow.
And the Stanley Rule and Level Company was founded by Frederick's cousin, Henry Stanley, in 1857. So there's that. They have acquired Mac tools. That's tough reading through all this crap in the histories. DeWalt. Irwin, Linux, and Hillmore tool brands from Newell brands. Craftsman. Let's see. Oh, here's a better list. And someone mentioned in the chat that Craftsman was actually B&D owns Craftsman now. Craftsman Power Tools, Hand Tools went to Husky Cobalt. Interesting. So there's a little bit of fractionization going on in the Craftsman sphere of things.
Wait a minute. Say that again. Craftsman?
Well, I've got B&D owns Craftsman.
Cobalt?
Craftsman Power Tools. Craftsman's Power Tools went to, I guess, B&D, and then the Hand Tools went to Husky Cobalt.
Husky is Home Depot's brand, and Cobalt is Lowe's brand. And now Lowe's carries Craftsman.
Well, there you go.
That's a lot of sleeping around.
Gosh. And then there's a more conclusive list on this wiki page as to the brands. So here's the brands. DeWalt Power Tools, acquired in 1960. Porter Cable, They own Porter Cable. Oldham Saw Company.
Wait a minute. It says that DeWalt was acquired in 1960.
1960.
That isn't right.
B&D, Black & Decker acquired in 1960.
Oh, it wasn't that long ago that the announcement was made. Maybe there was a DeWalt division and they closed off the division or whatever. I say recently, but it was well over 10 years ago now.
I'm looking on their thingy here. Yeah, they sold it to Black & Decker in 1960. Interesting. Anywho, so Porter Cable, Oldham, Black & Decker, Stanley Hand Tools, parts of Craftsman at least. Pastorino, carpentry tools. Bostitch. Yeah. Mac Tools, Proto Tools, Blackhawk Tools. A lot of overseas companies as well.
Yeah, we were. My mom used to live in Augusta, Georgia, and we were in the Lowe's, and there was like this big Black & Decker display by the register, and we're standing there, and I'm looking at this stuff, and I'm like, this stuff is such crap, you know. And that's not really fair. It's not. Black & Decker makes decent stuff for the home user. It's just not. It's not pro grade. And but I'm like, this stuff is such crap and stuff, and like people are staring at me, and I said to my mom, I said, why is everybody looking at me? And she said, because Black & Decker has a plant here. These people probably made that stuff.
That's like us ripping on Lipton iced tea. The plant for Lipton is like right down the road. Which I will just go on record by saying that I don't like Lipton's bottled iced tea, but I love their like brew it iced tea. That's fine, but their bottled stuff tastes like it's been in plastic for a year. Hawk 3D in the house.
What's up, Ben?
He's still
welcome
tired
to our
from
very
the
impromptu
EU,
live stream.
The EU live stream, which went very well, I thought. Were you able to watch any of that?
I did. I watched the beginning of it, but I was having a really hard time with it because nobody was speaking English. And, you know, somebody was giving Martin crap about that. I guess they keep like leaving him comments on his videos and stuff saying, you know, you're hard to understand. Why don't you speak English?
Because I'm Icelandic, you idiot.
Because I don't speak English, you know, like
English is a second or third or fourth language.
Right.
And you can't say anything because I don't live in America. So don't say go back to where.
Yeah. Why don't you go back to where you came from? I am where I came from. No, I did watch it for a while, but I had a lot going on, so I only got to watch a little bit of it. But because it was actually on while I was still working. While I was working, no.
This mic is really going to tick me off.
Is it dropping out again?
I'm gonna unplug it and plug it in somewhere else.
You gonna try plugging it in at my house? Dragon Monk's in the house. Hey, Sean, how are you? I'm going to mute this for a second to drill so he can listen to silence.
I mean, I can use the webcam mic in the meantime while I figure out why this one's being a butt and a half. It could be the computer. I haven't rebooted it in like a year. All right, here's a snowball. Snowball check. Snowball check. All right.
Seems to be working. You know, nobody has said yet, because I made a big deal just 10 minutes ago about how I was done drilling holes. And yet I'm still drilling holes. Nobody said anything. I got over there and realized that I skipped a whole entire upright. I had it all marked and everything, and then I didn't drill it.
So did you 3D print a jig for that?
I did. I showed it earlier, but I'm more than happy to show it again. So I I designed that, and then I got the bushings from Amazon. They're 3/16 holes because metric bushings were stupid expensive, and I just needed it to make sure that it cleared a 3mm Allen key. And then I designed this one to go on the end of the extrusion to help steady the tap when you're tapping the end of it, so that it's not all wonky.
Look at you go.
And then this one I designed for laying across like this for the holes for the bed supports.
Yeah.
So it
well done, sir.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well. I mean, these holes don't have to be like super precision, because it's just to get the Allen key through for the hidden screws. But I mean, you got to have them somewhere in the neighborhood. But this drill bit's dulling out.
That nice monoprice select mini.
What's that?
Oh yeah, forgot that I had the MP Mini behind me. So funny story about that one. It was sitting up on that bookcase way back there where the MP Delta Mini is, and I decided to get it off of the shelf and play with it again because I figured that it would be my little baby girl's printer, and I would use it to print stuff for her on it.
Why, you don't like her?
Dude, that is a nice little printer.
I know it is. I had one. I gave it away. I gave it to my.
This one's even got a micro Swiss hot end. It's got the cap tubes. I'm printing with Protopasta, which is by no means the cheapest filament either. So I mean,
it is not. It's worth the money, but it's not the cheapest.
No, it's totally worth the money.
It's absolutely.
It's just not. It's not like I'm like printing,
inland.
No offense to Inland or anything, but they're a budget filament,
right?
And they know they're a budget.
I'm a budget filament kind of guy. I love cheap filaments. I tell you what, this stupid CC tree style, I shouldn't say stupid, that wasn't nice of me. The CC tree filament that they sent me for review prints really nice. It's not super cheap. It's like 20 bucks a kilo, but it prints really nice. In fact, this was done in.
I've been impressed with Ziltech a lot lately.
I haven't tried their stuff yet. I got a couple samples from Ryan, Geek Tech Ryan, from Earth, and I haven't tried it yet.
My Chet Prusa, the red MKS. That
I love that you call it that.
Yeah, we get them all really weird names.
Well, what was it? You had called it something else first, but
I can't remember.
I don't know, but
I just called it Chap.
Oh yeah, that's right. And I said that it sounded too much like you were talking about Chuck.
Yeah. That entire printer though is printed out of Ziltech PETG.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was confident enough with the Ziltech PETG that I rebuilt that Prusa with it.
You know who makes a really great PETG? IC3D.
I knew that was coming.
And make sure if you order their yellow, which they sold out of, by the way. I got the last roll coming, so they got to run another batch now. But make sure if you order the yellow, you put in the comment section of the order that they need to name it Fun King 3D Yellow. I'm
trying to convince Sam to have them rebrand the Inland Egyptian Blue as Joe Mike Blue. So far, it's not going well.
Well, I can understand a company's reservation and not wanting to do it, but I wasn't really going to push it at first because I'm more than thrilled that they even entertained the idea of making a custom color for me.
Oh heck yeah! I mean, that's like
awesome.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. I mean. Only thing that would be even more awesome is if someone made a printer after you, like the Fun King 3D printer, and you didn't have to build it yourself.
Yeah, I was going to say, what if they named it like FK-1?
Well, then you'd have quite the dilemma on your hands at that point.
No, I just renamed mine if somebody else was going to build one. But
make yours like the MK.5 or the FK-1 FK.5.
0.79.
0.79333 repeating.
Yeah, 0.886C.
Uh-oh. Oh, there it goes. My motion eye decided to flip out on me. I've got all my webcams going into a centralized Motion Eye OS instance so I can monitor them all at once.
So Chris Self said, and you're going to have to help me with this, Chris, funny how you do that for a printer you're making and companies won't do, I don't know if that's supposed to be that for their own. I don't understand what you're saying. I mean, are we still talking about IC3D?
Joe Mike, which pan tilt cam did you say was decent? Oh, let me get the actual name of it. It's the WANS View wireless 1080p IP camera. And hold on one second. I'll throw up a link. This is an affiliate link to be transparent, but there it is, so you can have a look-sees.
That's all good. We like affiliate links.
Maker Geeks has a Pulse Car Blue. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
I wouldn't mind having an FK-1, but I'll probably have to wait till the FK-X to afford one. Yeah, I don't know bottom line on it yet, but
Pulse Car Blue. Maker Geeks. I have some. This is actually the Raptor series Pulse Car Blue. It is a really nice blue, but it's Maker Geeks, so I'm a little apprehensive to print with it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you your feelings on them. I mean, their biggest thing, of course, is customer service and the fact that they don't send orders to people. But
yeah, I mean, it's so when they first got on the scene, I talked with Joshua over email quite a bit, just asking him because they were in my backyard. So I was like, "This is awesome. There's a filament manufacturer in my backyard." And then, I was like, well, I'm down in Springfield all the time because my wife's parents live down there, and I'd like to come by and take a look at, your all's production. I'd like to see kind of where the sauce is made. We never were able to get together because I would always come down on the weekends, and he'd be like, oh, well, we're not at the shop. And I was like, come on, just make an exception and meet me over there someday, and just let's just take a look.
There probably isn't one.
There is. They have a storefront. But then all the bad stuff started happening. So like right around the time the Geek Box was released, and they tried to scale up, and they just did not have a good plan in place to scale up. And so that and their inventory system on their website was horrific. And
yeah, it doesn't show the inventory. It doesn't show what's in stock when you order it.
It's supposed to now. It's supposed to.
Yeah, I got their Maker Box or their Geek Box. I can't believe I just called it Maker Box. Strike that.
I'll forgive you.
Oh God, wow! I'm gonna punch myself in the face later for that. I got I almost did it again. Their Geek Box twice, 2 months worth, and it's a good value because you get 2 full rolls and you get some parts for a project. I got a cool laser pointer to make the little laser light show. But
yeah, I remember that.
I got 1 month it was mint ice cream and peach ice cream, 2 horrible colors.
Yeah.
And then 1 month was just black and white.
Yep.
And it was like and at the time we weren't printing that much, so it was like I had to cancel it. Real quick, Chris Self was talking about making the jig for the holes. Is what he was saying, like that I did it for my printer, but companies don't do it for theirs. Because how many times you get a printer where the holes are not drilled right? Of course, they use like CNC machines to punch all those holes. So they just don't have any quality control. And Harley Martin wants to know what time it is where I live. And that makes me chuckle because Harley lives just like 200 yards away from me. So
depending on what direction, you could be a couple seconds ahead or behind. John's talking about Maker Geeks and how he gets his orders all the time. And you know what, John, would say that I've gotten 95% of my orders. I'd have to do the math of how much I've actually ordered from Maker Geeks and how there was the thing that really ticked me off, because I get the orders of the filament I don't need, but there's one time I had a commission job and I needed to get a specific color very, very quickly. And
so they're like Amazon.
Well, I needed it. It was a very specific color that only Maker Geeks made. So, and I went on their website and I bought it, and it was in stock apparently on their website. And weeks pass, and my client was just like, "So where's this thing?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm still waiting for the material." So I'm like emailing Josh like crazy. I'm like, "Dude, I need this filament like a week ago." And I didn't hear anything back from him for like another week. A month passes. I lose that client. And I finally just like email bomb Joshua and the support email address. And I'm like, cancel the order. Cancel the order. I don't need it anymore. You guys made me lose. To disclose it, it was about a $400 commission print for a very, very large cherry picker manufacturer here in Kansas City. It was a prototype for one of their LCD control panels, and I lost that.
Well, that's what I was going to say too, is it seems like the people, like you don't, and maybe it's just because people won't complain if they don't get a roll of filament, but it seems like everybody I hear complain, they're like, it was a $400 order, or it was a, it was a $200 order. And I think maybe that's the issue. Now, again, that doesn't answer for their customer service. They should be letting these people know or send a partial shipment. But, maybe when you're ordering $200 worth of filament, you're not usually ordering $200 of the same color anyway, and maybe there's one or two that aren't available, and that's what the hang up is. But I mean, I had a guy reach out to me. I did a unboxing of the Geek Box video, and I just a couple days ago got a message that he never got his $400 order. Well, I'm thinking $400 order, I'd be hunting somebody down for $400.
I didn't put in a $400 order. They cost me a $400.
Oh, it was a $400 job. Okay.
Yeah, that would have led to more prototype work for this particular company.
I gotcha.
And so that was an income, a revenue stream that I was very much wishing I could have capitalized on, but because of that one Maker Geeks order, I couldn't. And they wanted it in that very specific color, and Maker Geeks was the only place I could find it that had it, or supposedly had it in stock.
Yeah.
So, and I was just that kind of sent a bad taste in my mouth. And then the Geek Box, I mean, it was fun, but I kept getting the same filament over and over and over again. I don't know how many times I got a spool of white PLA.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, and it's not that you can't use it, but to burn through a whole roll every month.
Yeah, I'm not. And to be frank, I mean, Maker Geeks PLA prints at higher temperatures, and I do a lot of color changes. Even before I got the palette, I did layer changes for a lot of my stuff.
Right.
And when I would go from Maker Geeks to a non-Maker Geeks filament, a lot of times there was no layer adhesion.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because of the temperature. Mr. Buttram is in the house. Kit said that leads him to believe that Maker Geeks is supplied by somebody else. So did you ever get a chance to actually go tour the place? I mean, did that ever work out? You lost your mic again. You're out. Just do it in sign language.
Okay, I'm switching to the webcam mic. Maybe it'll stay up. That's what she said. Oh, I'm sorry, Glenn.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry.
Gosh, I'm going to have to ban you from my channel.
Just second nature. Oh, man.
You need to evaluate your life if that's second nature.
Oh, Lord, I apologize. What were we talking about before I did that? Oh, I never did see the plant, but I've seen pictures of their plant, that they've released, at least. I know that their filament is not like any other filament out there, so it's not one of the major.
Yeah, I don't doubt that they're producing their own. I mean,
the issue was that they couldn't produce. They didn't have the capacity to produce, you know, every color of every type of material and keep it in stock. You know, they would do like limited runs of like blue PETG, and then
that's no different than IC3D. It's no different than all of them. I mean,
yeah, except they didn't stay on top of it.
Right.
You know, and then they tried to expand out to more extruders, and they said things were supposed to be getting better, and yeah, and then they got the new inventory system that was supposed to allow them to make the online inventory reflect the actual in-house inventory, but they're still overselling.
I think that they could do a great improvement if they just hired somebody to do customer service. You know, hire somebody to send an email and say, hey, that's out of stock. Do you want to cancel that? Do you want to, you know what I mean? Like, just work on your customer service and get people their stuff. And then,
well, that should be the first of any company that operates in the public sphere like that. Customer service has to be your first priority. Your product is second.
Have you ever gone to their business bureau?
The business, Better Business Bureau rating?
Yeah, the BBB. Have you ever viewed their page?
Oh, yeah.
The complaints on there they have an F rating.
Yeah.
How are they still in business?
Well, they've actually been sent letters by Triple B. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, like the Better Business Bureau themselves can't do anything to you. Like they can't come kicking your door in and shut you down. It's just a rating system. But
they send out letters to these companies and they're like, hey, you've got an F rating and you've got lots of
but you know, my thought is if you have an F rating with the Better Business Bureau, there's got to be enough people to start a small claims action against you or something. You know, like I don't understand how a company like that can stay in business unless because if you read their webpage, they talk about how they're a manufacturer for a lot of other companies, which I'm sure that's true. And maybe that's where they're making their money, and that's why the end sales are hurting so bad.
Yeah. But
you know, so maybe they just need to get out of end sales.
Exactly. I mean, if they need to get out of, you know, consumer sales, if their B2B sales are enough to hold the company up, and that's what most of their time and effort's going towards, and it's hurting their consumer front, at that point you got to kind of ask yourself, is it worth having your name dragged through the mud because you can't keep up with consumer demand when the B2B is really where all of your income is coming in?
Right. If that's the case. But then even as a all right, so I'm Fun King 3D Filament company, and I'm buying my stuff from Maker Geeks, and I see that they have an F rating with the Better Business Bureau. Aren't I going to get a little worried that they're going to eventually start giving me the shaft, and I'm going to go find a different manufacturer before that happens? You know what I mean? Like,
oh, absolutely. I mean, that drives so many people away. If you look at the Facebook groups alone, people who kind of come in and ask about Maker Geeks, and then everyone and their mom come in and go, take a look at their Better Business Bureau page. They've got an F. I didn't get my Maker Geeks order for 2 months. And you just get the whole list of just everyone who's had an issue with Maker Geeks on that one post. You don't hear about the thousands of people who had good experiences with Maker Geeks. All you hear is the negative. I mean,
yeah, but like, okay, so everybody out there has got a negative against them. Like, there's no company in the whole world that is ever 100% clean.
Absolutely, but that's too many negatives.
Right. If you're serving 100,000 people and 2 people are saying, "Hey, you suck," that's one thing. But when you have that many people complaining, but yet there's other people. I think it's Chris Neary's that says he loves Maker Geek Filament and uses it all the time.
I love their Raptor series. I mean,
but what's funny is like some people use it all the time and have no problem getting it and have no problem, you know, like, and yet other people, like I didn't have any problem getting my order. Again, I only ordered for 2 months. And when I finally decided to cancel, I wrote to him and said, hey, I just, like I just want to cancel this. Like 2 rolls of filament's too much for me. I don't print that much yet. I'm new, whatever. And they were like, sure, no problem. Like they didn't give me a hard time canceling. My stuff showed up when it was supposed to. So like that aspect of it, I don't have any complaints. But the filament, the tolerances on the filament isn't great.
No, there was a couple of what was it? The Urban Fossil PLA that I recently tried to print.
Oh yeah, I got that one too.
It's one of my favorite colors, actually.
So I guess that's the month. I got the black one and the Urban Fossil. That's the.
This is Urban Fossil right here. It's one of my favorite prints I've ever done. I keep it right on my desk on one of those little spinny turn top thingies.
Yeah.
Because I like it so much, and I just like looking down and going, "Oh, you're such a good little print." By the way, this was printed on that little
MP Select.
Yeah, the MP Select, way back in the day.
Yeah, well, see, like I can generally get away with printing the Maker Geeks filament on like the AM8 because it's a little bit more sloppy. Like the tolerances through the extruder and stuff aren't as tight. But on the Prusa, not so much. Like I have problems with jams and stuff with it. Now I was using it on the E12 and I was getting all kinds of extrusion skipping. And I was blaming it on the filament at first, and then I tried different filament and realized that it was a problem with the E12.
Yeah, the like on the MK3, I tried printing with the Urban Fossil on the MK3, and I've got Capricorn tubing.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Yeah.
A little itty bitty jaunt from the top of, or right below the hop gear down into the V6. Just that.
Right.
It's no longer.
It's 60 millimeters.
No longer than that, right? So, yeah, just even then, I would get it barely in there. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say it, Joe. Don't say it, Joe. Okay. Anyway, just kind of forcing it in there first off. And within 5-10 minutes of a print, the thing just starts going because it's jammed.
Yeah.
And I think my dog just thinks something knocked at the door. Hold on. Be right back.
And then I was alone. So let's see what you guys are doing because, again, I feel bad. I feel like I'm ignoring all you guys. They've also created a sub-company, Filament Geeks, that they use on Amazon. Well, that would make sense. Have a different name so that your negatives don't follow you to Amazon. I'll have to look into that and see what they got.
Get it. Good puppy.
Kit said that they've also created a sub-company called Filament Geeks that they use on Amazon. He said, I also worry when the web page of a business is just repeats of the bio page over and over again. They could have 10th of their website and have exactly the same info. Well, that's almost as much fun as when you go and it has the lorem ipsum text still on their website. I'd rather make the same thing over and over and have somebody else sell it for me. Exactly. And I mean, that's what they claim. That's their claim. They claim that like the line on their website says something about, like we sell to a bunch of other people. Why pay their markup? Buy it directly from the source, whatever. Most of the filament that you buy is ours anyway.
No, it is not.
Well, right. But that's what their website says. So. Dude, I go off on rants about it all the time. So, Scott, you are dead on, brother.
And James, Josh, the owner, Josh at one point talked to me on a very regular basis via email, and now he doesn't at all, which is sad because, I mean, I don't hold anything against him. I kind of want to help, be like, hey, is there anything that I can do to help you guys figure this out?
I think the whole community feels that way. I mean, other than the people that they owe stuff to, I'm sure that they're burned. But, I mean, I would never not want to support a local filament company. I mean, local to us, but if we could, I mean, if we can build them up, but oh my gosh.
What's all this garbage going on? Good Lord of mercy.
How did you steal the link? I suppose you've been messaging me and I didn't.
Yeah, but Joe Mike pays attention to chat, unlike other people.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't even see that in the chat. I just got a notification on my Apple Watch that you sent me a DM.
Did I send a DM?
I didn't get a DM.
Send me the link.
Oh, I thought I was typing in the chat.
No, I didn't get anything from you.
Now you put it in the chat too, but I didn't see that one. And then, yeah.
I've been hacked.
That's right, Hack Monkey. Don't let anybody in here. Wait, you're not here.
Scott, I was at Micro Center today. I was disappointed I didn't see you there.
Now we got Walter in here now. I'm going to meet you guys so that I can discuss with my wife what we should do with my oldest child.
Oh, I hear you. No, we just drove in, Joe Mike. We've been in Gainesville all day. My daughter's moving back into UF in college down there.
Gainesville.
Yeah.
Was that the daughter that was on the stream the other day?
Yes. And then I let my 15-year-old drive from just this side of Gainesville home. So 2.5 hours with a 15-year-old driving.
Wow. And how are your nerves?
Oh, mine are good, man. My wife fell asleep, so hers would be good.
Okay, good 15-year-old driver. I was an idiot at 15, so my driving was pretty stupid.
Oh yeah, ditto.
Yeah, no, but she did good. One thing is it's been raining so much here. She hadn't got a lot of night driving in. So, I figured I'd cram it all into like 2 hours because she's only got 2 weeks till she turns 16 or so. 3 weeks maybe.
Got to get that practice in.
Chris,
yeah. Uh-oh.
You're crackling out there, Glenn.
Yeah.
Oh, am I?
Oh,
that's better.
I said Chris said in the chat that he would have stayed if he knew Walter was coming.
There's nothing stopping him from clicking the link and getting back on here.
Yeah, you can come back on, but I have to wrap this up within about 5 minutes. So now that you're here, Walter, I really have to go. But
I see how it is.
I didn't realize that it was almost 11 o'clock.
Glenn, you go, and Walter and I will keep it going on your channel.
Oh yeah, I don't think it works that way. I think when I click out, you guys are done.
Oh, I don't know.
Now you two can stay and chat, but if I click out, it kills the stream.
It kills the broadcast.
Right.
Well, that is a possibility. Dog, what are you doing on my floor?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Well, Glenn, I will tell you, I'm gonna give it away tomorrow. I will actually have something to work on our channel.
You're giving something away tomorrow?
No, I said I'm giving it away now that I'm working on something on the channel, and it happens to have boxes stacked all in it right now. We're gonna make some plastic come through that again.
I think I'm gonna make some plastic come through the robo tomorrow.
Are you?
I think that's my plan for tomorrow. I would love to build the FK-1 frame, but I want to do that on regular video because I have to record it. So
Okay. Thank you.
Boy, your baby got hairy, Mike. Joe Mike.
Michael Castle said, "Give Walter control of yours. He lets you use his."
Lots of hair.
That is true.
Hairy all over, just like her daddy, aren't you? Aren't you, baby girl? That's a good girl. Oh,
no, I just decided that I wanted to try working on that robo, which it's all leveling. It prints fine. It's just a leveling issue, so I just got to tweak all that. So now that I have the E12 printing magnificently, which I never thought was going to happen.
No, Carl, I did not get another duet. I'm just tired of that big machine sitting over there not putting plastic on the glass.
Absolutely. It's crazy to have machines and not use them. I mean, I say that, but like we don't use the Fabricator Mini just because it's so small, and it's more of a trophy piece than a use piece. But I mean, I would like to be able to print on the rest of these. That's
like my my Monoprice Mini Delta I've got in there. I don't print on it, but it's great for taking to like maker fairs and stuff because it's so small and so portable.
I got mine right back here. I just started printing on it again.
That's a Select, right?
Select Mini, yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about the Mini Delta that you've got as well.
Oh, that's back there in timeout. I'm actually thinking about giving that one away on a stream.
Really, I use mine for maker fairs because it's so portable, and it just prints, man. I mean, mine just prints. It's not great, but it's cool to watch print.
Yeah, I can't take the noise though. Like,
it is loud. It is
the other deltas that I have are like super fast and quiet, and they look awesome. And then that thing's like,
you know what you should do, Joe Mike? You should upgrade it to trinamic drivers.
That would require upgrading the entire board, upgrading steppers, and by the time I get done with it, that'd be probably a $300 to $400 more investment on a miniature Delta.
Yeah, go ahead and put a Duet Wi-Fi on it.
Oh, totally. I'm not even sure I could fit a Duet Wi-Fi in it.
Yeah, I don't think so. It'd be tight, very, very tight. But
yeah, I don't. It is what it is, and I mean it's perfectly fine for someone who wants a tiny little Delta like that. I mean it works better than Tico, right?
Yeah,
agree on that. But yeah, I expected a little bit more from it, and it just didn't deliver. I think that's just my expectations, and there's probably plenty of people out there who weren't trying to put it on a pedestal, and I put it there, and when it didn't meet it, I got mad at it. So,
yeah.
What were you guys talking about? I was over here having a good conversation with my wife.
Wait, Chris Riley said, so why not on the upgrading the mini Delta?
Oh, I thought he was why not that he was going to come back in.
Oh. Yeah. Well, you said you were leaving now because it's 11:01.
Yeah. Well, pretty shortly. Yeah.
I mean, I could probably put like I've got a couple of smoothie boards I could probably hook up to that thing.
Dude, I am done with the MKS base boards.
I don't use MKS base.
This smoothie board that's on this TiVo has driven me nuts, and I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm just done.
Chris, if you want that mini Delta, that thing is yours.
Yeah, that's so funny because Scott said, okay, Joe Mike, send the mini Delta to Chris for an upgrade, but you wouldn't have to send it to him. You could just walk it over to him.
He's already got one.
The thing, though, is that I could also walk it over to Scott.
True.
Oh, Scott's right there with you guys too?
Yeah, he's right there with y'all.
Wow. So Kansas City's the place to move, huh?
Yeah, we apparently
have tornadoes.
We have a lot of 3D printing people over here who never talk to each other.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, it would not do for me to live like within 35-40 minutes of Glenn.
Why?
Why? Because I would never do anything with the family. I'd always be 3D printing or doing something.
We would just. Oh, I see what you're saying. It would do bad for your family side.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I mean.
Well, we could just 3D print family stuff together.
We could do that.
Right, yeah, Scott, we could, the 291 3D tour. So I'd be like the first stop, and then you'd be the second stop, and then Chris would be the third stop. If we can find someone in Excelsior Springs or Cameron or somewhere like that, then they keep going.
But see, y'all are the perfect. Let's get together and hang out and 3D print for the weekend or something. Like Murph started. That's the perfect thing for you. Everybody's like, well, you and Glenn and Ron and the Happy Extruder, y'all could all do that and show them. I'm like, yeah, for me to show them is like 6.5 hours. It's not.
There's a time. I mean, I met a bunch of people at IRF that were from Florida too, but we're scattered everywhere.
Right.
So it definitely couldn't be a regular thing, but
for me to Scott, it'd be like 6.5 minutes. And then from me to Chris, if he's up in Liberty, that's about 20-25 minutes.
Right. Yeah. See, that's crazy, man.
We could do 3D sponsored by 3D KC.
But that's why I was talking about doing something just a couple of times a year where we all get together, so that it's not a huge inconvenience, And I really think the Saturday night of Orlando Maker Fair would be an awesome time to have a.
You better not be chewing on one of my prints.
Have a powwow and get it set up.
Yeah, we'll just have a little dinner together or whatever, I mean.
Made New Makerspace said, seriously, he's up here in Omaha, and if it was regular thing in KC, he'd come down.
Well, I guess that gauntlet's been thrown then. Gotta accept the challenge, except I've got a newborn child.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
that.
but that doesn't end your life.
Oh, no,
I mean-
but I mean, to organize something like that, I think
So don't organize. Let somebody else organize it. You know, you don't always have to be the lead.
I have control issues.
Sometimes it's okay to start the ball rolling and step out and let somebody else do it.
Yes,
mean-
Scott, I'll call Anthony. That's
Listen, I'm giving you advice based on not what I do. You know, I'm a total social introvert, but I hate not controlling whatever's going on.
Colin is on the north side of 291, 5 minutes from. Oh my gosh! So 4 of us, 5 of us actually with Anthony.
Yeah, see what happens?
Anthony lives less than 2 minutes away from me if I'm driving the speed limit.
Kit says he's got Maker Faire tickets for Orlando. That's awesome. Hope to see you there. I'll be easy to find. I'll be in a booth with a huge Fun King 3D banner behind me. It won't be this one. It'll be my smaller one.
We are still trying to decide when we're going to go to Phoenix. So,
well, you know, you just have to make that decision. Like I was trying to decide when I was going on my family vacation to Washington D.C. And then Earth released their dates, and I'm like, "Woo, that's when we're going."
It just happened to coincide, did it?
That worked out like superbly. I mean, it just worked out fantastically. So because to drive up just for the weekend it's hard. That's hard. You know, I mean, making the trek to Murph, making the trek to Earth, that's tough. But where we got to wrap a little vacation into it, it was cool. We had a good time.
Yeah, no doubt. We only spent the day in Washington, dude, and it was cool. We really need to go back when we can spend a couple of days.
You almost have to have a week there to see everything.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you can't even see all of the Smithsonian in a couple of days.
No, well, I don't know. We walked through a lot of the Smithsonian that wasn't even worth seeing. I mean, it depends on what interests you.
Yeah,
So,
but I could stay in air and space for a day.
Yeah, well, and you didn't make it out to the annex. The annex is pretty awesome.
Right.
But we went into the Museum of American History, and there were some cool things in there. Like we got to see like an actual Kermit the Frog puppet, and stuff like that was cool. But otherwise, what was that? Oh yeah, Archie Bunker's chair.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was just.
Hey, you could have stood beside it and let her call you meathead, and it'd have been kind of accurate.
Thanks. No, if they would open up a national museum of toys, and have like toys all the way back to I'd spend a week just in that.
Yeah. But Glenn, we do need to get something set up. It's just hard with all the events that we actually go to get something like that set up.
Yeah, well, but I mean, if a handful of us get together and actually, I mean, it was a small handful of people that organized Earth. I think a small handful of us could organize a dinner with people in Florida. And I think I was going about it wrong. Like I was just telling people, hey, if you want to go, email me and I'll get you on the list and blah, blah. I think we should just say this is where it is and this is when it is. Be there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it would have to be somewhere, close to you.
It's going to have to be Orlando. It's going to have to be in the middle of the state.
Orlando's not the middle of the state, dude.
I'm not counting the panhandle. Those people aren't important.
there's from you to Pensacola is 600 miles.
The part of Florida that's in my time zone.
Right.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny, Joe Mike, because we only live, as the crow flies, about 30 minutes from your time zone.
Oh no, it's crazy. One of my what would it be? Clients. One of the clients that I support at work has an office in Florida, and I always thought it was Eastern time zone, and so I was always like trying to call them around their business hours, and so when they'd schedule for a call at 2 o'clock, I'd always call at 1 o'clock, and they'd be like, "Oh wow, you're early," and I'm like, not that early. And then we're like, we're in the same time zone, honey. That's the exact phrase. And I was like, you're in Florida. And they're like, yeah, we're up in the Panhandle. I was like, oh, yeah, okay. I'm an idiot.
But Glenn, we could probably Gainesville might be a good place to have it.
I don't know. The Gainesville Mini Maker Faire turnout wasn't great.
Yeah, but this is just a hangout for 3D printers, and we've got Slice Engineering there, who might
that's true. They are there.
set us a spot.
And I actually talked to a handful of people, like young people that were from that area as well.
Right.
So that actually might not be bad. And maybe we do it twice a year in 2 different places. Even if we can't all attend.
Right. My daughter is friends with one of the girls that's in the University of Florida 3D printing group there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it might be something that we could organize there on campus and get an area to do it in.
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't know.
I'm not thinking like Earth size.
No. I know that.
I am literally thinking like a Golden Corral. That we take over the little private room inside of a Golden Corral.
Well, there's no Golden Corral in Gainesville, so
there is or isn't.
There is not.
Really?
No. There's zero buffet. There's 0 buffets in Gainesville.
Weird.
Well, no, it's not. In college towns, it's hard for them to make money when it's strictly a college town.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like in Tallahassee, it's all state government. So, I mean, there's a bunch of people there. But Gainesville, it's hard for a buffet to make money. Unless you're CC's. They are there.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, okay, so even if it's not a buffet, just, somewhere where we can have a little bit of a private room where we can all just sit around and chit-chat and not feel rushed out of there. Made in Makerspace said FRF, FRRF, but I want to call it the Florida Area Rep Rap Trade Show. So it would actually be farts. Because that's
later, Jason.
What's that?
Said later, Jason.
Oh, bye, Jason.
Yeah, Fernando. If I drive it takes me about 45 minutes to get there. I said as the crow flies, so it takes about 45 minutes by the highway. But yeah, I go back in time. It's just really weird if you start close to dark and leave here and drive east.
Oh, Joe Mike shaved his dog.
I know.
I took my wife a cookie, and this is what she gave me back in return.
That's an awesome trade,
right?
Here, I'm a lock you on so you can show. I don't know if everybody in this chat's seen her. So
made new makerspace. Your dad's in Monticello, really?
Hey,
Monticello, Florida.
Say hi to everybody. Hi.
She looks very angry.
She's got a grumpy old lady face going on right now.
She's trying to figure out what you're doing with that code on the computer. She's like, you got an issue in that line.
Have you checked your syntax? Well, let's not start it on that there yet. let's not start it on syntax just yet. There's a good girl. You pooped your pants?
North of Monthly? I don't know what that is.
Where's Monticello?
Monticello is about 50 miles east of me.
All right, so like halfway between you and Jacksonville?
No, not even halfway.
Yeah, you're further from Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm 183.
The furry child is now here as well.
180
printed baby is real life like.
Oh no, north of Monticello, so he's close to the Georgia line. But
that still wouldn't be bad. That would only be what, like 3 hours to get to Gainesville.
Well, no, he was saying have it there so he has a reason to come down and visit family.
Oh, yeah.
He's saying have it in Monticello so he could come visit family.
I can't stand Golden Corral after I watched the little kid stick his hand into the sprinkles over and over. Well, that's where you get the extra flavor. Apparently, you've never worked in a kitchen to see what goes on back there.
Right.
But
ignorance is bliss when it comes to the food industry.
Absolutely.
We do need to discuss though, Glenn, because we can definitely make that happen.
Well, maybe then what we should do is I will reach out to my contact with Gainesville's Maker Faire and see if they're talking about doing it again this year. And if so, maybe we'll plan it that weekend. I mean, I realize that was only a one-day fair, but
So I mean, are you talking about doing like the Maker Faire on Saturday and then Sunday everybody 3D printing?
or we do the Maker Faire on Saturday and get together for dinner Saturday night.
Yeah.
You know, one that's going to draw more 3D printing people into the Maker Faire.
Who's a smelly girl? You're a smelly girl. Yes, you are.
That could be me. I had White Castle for lunch.
Whoa. Did you just die about
Chris Riley likes the Golden Corral hot buns.
What's that?
Chris likes the yeast rolls at Golden Corral.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Ron, have you seen Glenn's garage?
Ron has not. Uncle Ron has not been to the house. I mean, he's been very, very close, unless he drove by, you know, being all creepery. But I mean, his dad only lives like 20 minutes from me. But
I mean, that would be great if Glenn like made a spot where we could all like sit down.
we could in the lift bay.
Yeah, is the lift in there?
The lift bay is always clear because I have to get to the lift.
Yeah, but then the lift's in the way.
No, it's like this, you know. It's a 2-post. I mean, it doesn't take up. It only takes up like 16 square inches on each side.
But you figure if we get 10 people to show up with printers.
Oh, you want to bring printers? I was just thinking about printer people getting together.
Oh, I get.
I mean, if we meet as far as the Maker Faire, then I would have printers. I would have one glorious printer with me. Yes, I have a lift because I have an awesome wife. I do, not so much lately, but I do a lot of automotive work. And if you have the space for a lift, it's well worth it. It was like $3,200, I think I paid for it, and it was worth every penny. Just make sure the concrete you put it on is thick enough to handle it.
I don't know when you got yours, but they've went down a lot now. You can get a decent 2-post lift now for $1,950.
Oh no, you can get the off-brand ones. I did a lot of checking to make sure that mine was like safety certified and stuff.
Oh, I got you.
I wasn't going to put my life. You know, a car falls on you, you're done.
Tony Ryan's trying to be funny. Yeah, you can have a pit here too, as long as you keep a water pump handy.
What's that?
He said real guys have pit lifts are for yuppies. Yeah, but when our water table here is like 14 inches, pits are not the thing you want to be in.
I could have had a pit. I'm 70 feet above the water table, but the problem is the EPA. The EPA won't approve a pit anymore. I mean, like the what is it? The lube shops, Jiffy Lubes and stuff. When they have their pits, that's a huge hassle to go through to get approved for that.
Yeah,
you got to have all kinds of weird pumps and waterproofing. And Glenn is a lift snob. Who knew? That's because I'm handicapped. I'm not a snob about it. I share it with other people. I'm building a T-bucket rat rod. That's sweet. I guess I'll throw this out there. If anybody out there is looking for an awesome car, I have a 76 Corvette Stingray with like 84,000 original miles on it that needs a new home. And I would love to sell it to you. Cheap.
Then you can buy more 3D printers.
No, I could buy a lot of things. I could buy like the rest of the woodwork for the house so I could actually have trim around my doors. I could finish the tile in my master shower. We've never had a master shower in this house, and we've been in it now for 6 years. We all share one little shower. In fact, the apartment out in the garage that Grant lives in now has a better shower than what we use.
Chris Riley's asking 10 much.
10.9 is what I'm looking to get for it.
No, it's not red.
Yeah, I don't. I can't I can't take trades. I gotta have cash in hand.
It's not red, Fernando. It's Fun King yellow.
It is bright yellow. It's actually it's yellow with a camel interior, which is supposedly a rare combination. I don't know if that's true, but it is on vetfinders.com. If you go dig around, you'll find it. I need to purge some vehicles. I used to have that problem. I'm quite down on them now. In fact, this period of my life is the longest I've gone without buying a car. I've bought cars and sold them before I got home with it. I have a Fun King Yellow 85 vet. As long as it's Fun King Yellow. No, this was my dad's car, and we bought it. It's been 13 years ago now, and he drove it and took it to car shows, and I was the mechanic. That's the way it worked. So
there's the link to it.
Excellent. Thank you for spoon feeding me.
Yeah.
I'm lazy. Yeah, that'll give you some pictures. It'll also show you some little bit of pictures of my garage and all the crap that's in it. And before anybody asks, there is a green and purple Chevy truck in there that is a 92 full-size 1500 that came off the road for a 2-week repaint project 20 years ago. So, but that's not for sale. I won't part with that.
I don't see that one.
It should be in the background.
Oh yeah, it's over the top. It's got a bunch of stuff on it. You wouldn't have known what it was if you hadn't said anything.
Well, that's everybody always asks me, what is that? But no, camel, not camel. Camel, like the animal, brown. Yeah, it's got a boat in the back of the truck. It's a boat that I'm building. I'm building it.
Yeah, I was doing air quotes for you.
Been working on that for about 20 years as well. But that boat was in Popular Mechanics. It's powered by an outboard, but you ride it like a jet ski. So it's like screaming fast, but you don't have to abide by the rules that jet skis do because it's got an outboard on it.
I gotta change this little one and get her ready for feeding in bed. So I'll see you guys later.
All right. Well, thanks for popping in.
Thanks for letting me.
Bye, little one.
Say bye, SJ. Say bye. Wait, bye. Woo, bye.
Night.
Okay.
Hey, Paul Cumber.
My neighbor has put over 100,000 under the hood of a 50th anniversary Corvette. Wow.
Yeah. When I did a search for yours on the first page, Glenn, there's a 1976 yellow Camaro on the first page, right? It's Daytona yellow.
A Camaro on the Vet Finders?
Yeah, no, it's sorry. It's a canary. I said canary yellow, but it's actually Daytona yellow. And it's a 1969 with 1,000 original miles on it.
Wow.
$87,000.
Yeah, that's not a bad price for that.
I wasn't saying it was. I mean, you know.
Yeah, my next door neighbor has a white one. It's 74. It's the first year of the non-chrome bumpers. In fact, I think it has chrome bumpers in the back and the plastic bumper in the front. I think it's that year. I can't remember now, but he's looking to get rid of it too.
Yeah, Chris Riley, I've actually seen it. It's still in the
it's in that. It's those pictures. I mean, those pictures were taken 6 months ago, but I don't drive the car. Like I fire it up once in a while. I tool it up and down the side street, and then it goes back in the garage. So, it's not family friendly. I can't put all 4 of us in there. The kids hate getting in that little compartment in the back. My wife hates it because she can't see over the dashboard because you sit so low.
Hey, you know what would be cool, Glenn? If Chris Riley buys it, right? You and I jump in it and we do a fun in the country basement when we drop it off.
Yeah. Like the last time I drove it, I realized that the rear wheel bearings are going bad. So I'm going to find some time and hop on that and put new rear wheel bearings in it. But any of the problems that are listed on the site, I think I've taken care of all of them. So I gotta take all that off. It doesn't have a back seat for the 3D printer, but it does have a luggage rack. And I did bring my new microwave home on that luggage rack.
So it's the fuel gauge is not accurate, and it has a small transmission fluid leak.
Okay, the fuel gauge is still inaccurate, but the transmission doesn't leak anymore.
You put sawdust in it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So no, actually, I found out that the dipstick tube wasn't seated all the way into the transmission, so it was getting overfilled.
Oh wow.
So, but now that problem is been relieved, now it doesn't leak anymore. It does need new tires because the tires, like, they have great tread on them, but they're old. The tires were on it when I bought the car, 13 years ago. So, and tires really only have a shelf life of about 5 years. So to be safe, it would need new tires. I recently put new brakes on it. It's got a new master cylinder. I don't know, but it's all original. The guy before me did swap out like the distributor to an HEI distributor, swapped in an Edelbrock carburetor and intake manifold. And I have all the original parts except for the intake manifold. For some reason, I don't have that. And then I have like a whole bucket of extra, parts for it, like the vacuum actuators for the headlights and stuff, which both headlights work. Both headlights go up and down beautifully. So
I'll tell you, Glenn, my wife went to the hospital yesterday to see a friend of my daughter's and a friend of the family. She had a baby yesterday. So my wife went after work. Well, to the women's pavilion where they birth all the babies at, there is a $1 fee for parking. Well, my wife didn't have a $1 bill, so she had a $5. She got 4 $1 coins.
Are they like legitimately like dollars?
Yeah, she got the Susan B. Anthony dollar.
Okay.
Right. Then she got a James Monroe dollar.
Okay.
And then she got a James Madison $1. And then, of course, the most famous of the gold dollars, the Sacagawea.
Sacagawea dollar.
But the Susan B. Anthony was a 1979, and I told her, I said, I want that. So I got all 4 of them, actually.
That's pretty cool. Today I learned Glenn is a car guy too. Yeah, you guys, I'm very, very handy. For those of you guys in the audience that don't know, I built my own house. So
I used to do that for a living. I don't want to do it.
I know a thing or two about like do it yourself. Uncle Ron said the FK-1 doesn't look any taller. Listen. I did not have any intentions on building the FK-1 here tonight. It was just about drilling the parts. Now all the parts are drilled. It's ready to assemble, but I'm not going to do that on a stream. I'm going to do that recording it because I need it as a video to show other people how to build it in the future. Yes, I am the jack of all trades and a master of none.
Tony Ryan's got it right. Built your own house. So why is this printer taking so long?
Money. Yeah, same reason it took me 7 years to build the house.
Still waiting on someone we know to print a house.
What's that?
Still waiting on someone we know to print a house.
Yeah. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I have a little OCD and I like things to be perfect. I'll have to dig up like pictures of my electrical panel and stuff so you guys can see how OCD I was. In fact, the inspector, when she came and looked at my panel box, she said to me, she goes, now tell me honestly, did you really do this or was it an electrician? And I said, no, it was me. And she goes, it's nicer than most electricians do. It says right in the National Electrical Code that you will do it in a workmanship-like manner. And it is, boy, all my wires are like perfect. But it takes me forever to do stuff. And of course, we covered it up with drywall and you'll never see it again. But,
that's called anal, not OCD.
Okay, whatever you want to call it. I knew how to tear down and rebuild a 5-horsepower Briggs when I was 8 years old. That's a good place to start. My senior year of high school, I had 4 hours of auto mechanics every day because I had all my credits. So it was just I had 4 electives, so I took 4 hours of auto mechanics, and the second half of the day we taught the freshmen, the underclassmen, and we taught them how to rebuild lawnmower engines. And then we got to blow them up and stuff. We fed oxyacetylene into them and ran them without oil. We did all kinds of fun stuff with them, and just the dreaded Italian disease Mafunzolo. It's coming. I've been buying it little chunks at a time. So, but again, I had no intentions on building it tonight. So, good night, Joe. Thanks for being here.
Later, Joe.
I'd like to build a house, but time and with my foot, it's not in my favor. No, it took us a long time. We lived in an RV for a long time, which that started when Xander was just a baby. He was probably, well, even sooner than that, you know. Well, yeah, because it was right before we went on our trip, and we moved into the RV. So that was, you know, they say if you can build a house with your significant other. And I don't even mean physically building. I mean, like, if you can sit down and have a home built and not end up in a divorce, you have a good relationship. You know, so I didn't work. I wasn't working a job. I was early retired at the time, and just every day I worked on the house. It took me like 3 months to hang all the siding on this house, but I hung every piece of it by myself. And that's 12-foot long siding. So. And I didn't have a 3D printer to make cool stuff to hold it. But I would spend my evenings researching what I needed to do, and I would spend my days doing it. So.
I did, Paul Cumber. Thank you for sending me all the stuff, buddy.
So I said we just can't build things together. Yeah. Well, I think that we should wrap this up. I need to go to bed. I got church in the morning.
Yeah, I got to get up before I stream tomorrow. So.
And what time do you stream in the morning? 8?
I don't stream on Sunday morning anymore since we do the afternoon one.
Oh, okay. Well, it's probably good to have a day off.
I'll try to be up before we stream.
Oh, before we stream at 4 o'clock. I got it.
Yeah.
Well, Chris is streaming in the morning, and then he said he would try hard to be there. Uncle Ron's going to join us tomorrow night.
Cool.
So, I'm Glenn. In case you didn't know, you may be insane. You wouldn't be the first person to tell me that.
Wow.
All right, guys. Well, I thank you all for being here. This was going to be a short stream. I really only wanted to stream for about an hour as I drilled some holes. And then it turned into a hangout. And then it turned into a different hangout. I kind of like this, how like people just cycle through. Maybe that's what we need. Maybe we need like a YouTube channel that belongs to all of us. And it just streams 24/7. And then whenever you want to go in, you just go in. That could be pretty crazy.
That would be very crazy.
Fun King Syndrome. It was less than 24 hours. It was short. Yes, okay, so I don't hold the record, but my hour streams always turn into, you know, what time did I start tonight? 8. Or a little after 8. So yeah, John Mac's right. 3 hours later.
Yep.
My wife just said she watched a movie and a half in that time. So, but it's all good. So, but thank you guys for being here. I'm glad that you guys got to see this secret stream of FK-1 stuff. Everybody that came in tonight, you guys did get exclusive viewing. You have seen stuff that nobody else has seen. And I think tomorrow morning, like when I get, well, I guess it'd be afternoon, as soon as I get home from church, I believe that I'm going to start building the frame on this. So if all goes well, tomorrow for the Fun in the Country Basement stream that will be on Walter's channel at 4 p.m.
Wait, I thought you had it this week.
I had it last week, but I'll do it.
No, that's fine. Was Chris the week before?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, so it's my turn?
Well, Chris isn't going to be. Well, we don't know if Chris is going to be here, but yeah, it's your turn.
All right, cool.
So create the event and send me the link so I can put it on the website. You guys remember funcountrybasement.com or funinthecountrbasement.com will get you to our website that will show you who's hosting and a link to the channel as soon as it's updated, which will be as soon as Walter sends me that link. I'll get it updated. So probably sometime tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be tomorrow.
Yeah, because I wouldn't update it tonight anyway. I'm tired. I'd probably do it wrong. So I am working on making it where we can log in from the back end and update it. So like when you create the link, you'll be able to log in and update it on the fly. So, and big thanks to Chris and James and Joe Mike for being on the stream tonight. That made it fun. I wasn't really sure how this was going to go all by myself. I didn't even have my Xander with me. So, but subscribe if you haven't. But looking at this list, I'm pretty sure everybody in here is subscribed. But thumbs ups are always appreciated. In fact, go there now. I'll wait. No, I'm just kidding. Usually you have links on who is streaming. Oh, in the description, not for like this kind of stream. This was just a last second said, boom, gonna do it. If you think ABS smells, you should smell my baby extrusions.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. She's got to be out of that black goopy stuff in the beginning. That was really gross, yeah. So catch up with us at 4. Remember, Chris Riley streams in the morning. I can't remember what time. I don't know if he's still in here. He can say, but he streams in the morning while I'm at church. You got anything, Walter?
No.
Yeah. Just the subscribe and like and. Oh, yeah. Out of the tar into the green Hulk. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, smelly stuff. God, that brings back memories. Whew. Get a diaper genie if you don't have one. That was a savior. So, but all right, guys. Thank you guys so much, and we will catch you tomorrow on the Fun in the Country Basement. And again, Uncle Ron's going to be a guest co-host in there, so that'll be fun. We've never done one with Uncle Ron, so it could go off the rails pretty quick. Good night, everybody. As always, print on. That was a left-handed print on.